You're freaking Sloth in the Flash thing that shows up on Twitter so perfect. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, you said it was the one you did was like non-copyright. Where'd you find it? Uh-huh. Unless it explicitly says it's not copyrighted. But
I think I heard something about the Sloth as a Flash. I think the Sloth in the Flash costume is from the new Zootopia movie, where there are sloths, and one of them is named the Flash as a parody of being fast. And so maybe somebody created that image based off of the movie. So I don't think that in the movie he has an outfit. I've never seen the movie, but I've heard rumors that there's a sloth named the Flash in that movie.
Well, Disney's coming for you. You're fucked.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm ready.
So Go starts from the character selection or from the file selection?
One player, where it says one player. Now, here's the thing. When you're erasing this and you're waiting for the go, make sure you're moving up and down. Don't sit on the one player screen too long or it'll kick you back to the title and you'll lose time.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, all right, guys, we're live. All right, what's up? Welcome everybody to the weekly Sloth race. This week we're doing Donkey Kong Country. And just to set this up, Donkey Kong was released in 1994, and it was actually developed by the same developer that was Snake Rattle and Roll, which was last week's game. And it's been ported many times over for like the Game Boy Advance and various other consoles. And we actually have with us a guest commentator this week. His name is Peachy, and he's been. How long have you been running this game for, Peachy?
I've been running this game since September 2012.
That is a long time, and you've held various world records in, I think, this and Donkey Kong Country 2, right?
I've never held a record in Donkey Kong Country 2, but I've held each record in each like even remotely notable record in Donkey 1, and I held them all at the same time in 2017. But nobody else was really playing that year, so. Not that much, so they've all been taken now except for like one.
It's gotten a little more popular in recent months. But,
yeah, pretty much everybody just like comes. It's like, you know, back and forth. A lot of people are playing. They started again playing this year. I'm like, come on, guys! What happened last year? Where was all my? You know what I mean? But yeah, so there's some new talent too as well. It's definitely the liveliest it's been in years, which is really cool to see.
All right, well, man, I'm really excited to have you here. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to go ahead and introduce our runners. Everybody that's watched before is going to know Poisoncurls. He's my buddy. He was with us. He's actually got one win under his belt for our very first Sloth race, which was Speedy Gonzalez. Thanks for being here, Poison. Next is Skunky48, world record holder for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, any percent and glitchless on the NES. And he's going for his 4th win today. He's won every single Sloth race since he started running. Man has very gifted hands, apparently. Next is Square One. He's going... wait, you won Turtles, right?
Yep.
Turtles. That's right. He's got one Sloth race win under his belt, and he's also a fan of sleep. And last we have Xatmamune, which he was our commentator last week for Snake Rattle and Roll, and he is the world record holder in that category of Warpless. And he's going to be rounding out these guys. They've been learning this game for a week, and we're going to see what they're capable of. But they've been putting in a lot of work, so let's get hyped for them. All right, everybody ready up, and I will count us down.
Good to go.
Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, these streams are so unsynced, it's so much harder to deal with for commentary. That's funny.
Oh!
Alright, so the first thing they'll be doing is, well, generally the first thing that people do, I don't know what's going on. I got a couple people taking different routes.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I respect the choice to go up and farm life. So that's an interesting strategy. But generally, you'll be grabbing the, you'll be getting Diddy as soon as possible. Now, in this game, Diddy is much faster than Donkey and gets used almost exclusively, provided you can keep him, of course. You might have to, I'm sure there'll be some Donkey usage here today. Generally, it's really hard to not get hit in this game, so you might see Donkey more, but generally, Diddy is used whenever possible. Rolling is faster than running, and rolling, kind of, you speed up over time. It increases when you roll through enemies, and you can even chain rolls together in a move called the extended roll, which is used basically to keep roll uptime as long as possible.
You said that you could hit up to 4 enemies to achieve maximum speed, right?
Yes, but the way it works is that it accelerates over time. It's not a fixed speed, so you rarely reach the max speed. You can keep rolling through other enemies, of course. Well, there'd be jump rolls. You never know.
So just in case anybody is not familiar with this game, the story is that Donkey Kong's banana hoard has been stolen by King K. Rool. And so he and his buddy Diddy are on a quest to get his bananas back. I'm not sure what the stories are for the other one, but I like this one.
I've got a theory about the real story of this game, but I'll save it for later. It's a bit lame theory. Now, it looks like everyone's made their way to the 3rd stage, which is the first cavern stage. It introduces the tires for the first time, which can be really finicky at times. And crawl spaces as well. Crawl spaces you can jump through it if you hold down and forward and spam jump.
Right.
But getting through them is pretty tricky early on, as you see. Square one, just crawl through them with Donkey. That's what it looks like normally. That is going to, that's already in the 4th stage with the car.
Zat came to play.
Yeah, he's quite ahead of everyone else right now. I've been noticing that, and oh gosh, we got the Donkey on guard. Oh jeez, and it's quite an animation. But Ungard is much faster than swimming normally in water, and Ungard can actually, he's really overpowered in this game. He can charge through just about everything, but your top and bottom are vulnerable mostly. And okay, good. Swapping right before getting back to the next stage. That's a good idea. Square's just getting on guard. Everyone except Zad is riding on guard right now. And the movement's pretty tough. It's really easy to get hit just like that, yeah.
Yeah, each of the animals, they have a name. The rhino that you saw them riding earlier is called Randy. The
yeah, someone was riding the rhino.
His name is Espresso. The swordfish is on guard, the frog is Winky, and the parrot is called Squawks.
Frog? What frog?
Yeah,
I've never
the one
seen
that
a
you
frog.
never see the frog in the run, but there is a frog, apparently.
Nate, good thing Nate's not watching. He might get mad at me. Unfortunately, the animal buddies can be a little unruly. They actually attack and charge on their own, so if you're not familiar with weaving through the stages, it can be quite hard to control that. And you saw that happen on a few runners so far. Oh, it looks like Skunky isn't taking the barrels or missed the barrels. Oh, now he's going up for it.
Some of the earlier worlds, there are like pretty significant skips. Those kind of, are there any skips to the later worlds? I mean, we can wait till later to talk about it, but I'm just curious as an overhaul.
Well, essentially, the warps, unlike in DKC 2 and 3, all the warps are in the first 2 worlds, but in this game, they're kind of scattered about randomly. So they go all the way up to World 5 even. The last one is in World 5.
This is the all stages category, so you will see these guys beating all the stages in the game. So they're not going to get to skip over any worlds. I mean, it's...
Damn, dude.
Yep, so in this game there is an 8-minute category where you can warp twice to beat the game in 8 minutes. But all stages is generally the most commonly run category.
I try to pick every week I try to pick a game that's between 15 and 30 minutes long as far as the world record goes. Just because I don't want these guys to have to learn an entire game in a week and then like be on camera for like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Whenever we did Demon's Crest, Skunky had the idea to actually go first to beat the game 3 times, so we might do that in the future for future races as far as a way to stretch out the stream. Because there are a lot of games. There are a lot of games out there that are beatable in like 10 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, especially if you go into the NES game territory. Like Snake Rattle and Rolls, that's an NES game, right?
Yes,
SNES?
yes, it is. Snake Rattle and Roll is for NES.
Yeah.
That one was hard. Only Skunky was able to beat it, and he beat it in about 21 minutes.
He was the only one that managed to beat it.
He was the only one that managed to beat it. So
dang.
I'm trying to get better as a game picker. Like, I want something that's going to be challenging but not easy. We did Power Rangers our 3rd week, I think it was, and that one was just like a cakewalk for everybody. So,
I got you.
Sometimes I pick a game that's too easy. Sometimes I pick one that's too hard.
All right, so Zed's going through 2-4 right now, and there are some enemies that you can actually roll through without taking damage because there's not a programmed interaction with it. That's my best guess anyway. And the Rock Rocks in 2-4 and Stop and Go Station are one of those, and the others are the Millstone Oddies, and you might see people rolling through that. It looks like Square One's going through 2-1, just finishing up, and the others are in 2-3. I thought Poison was going to take the top route. I'm like, damn, I haven't seen that in 5 years.
Going for the super bounce.
Yeah, so this is a super jump, and it's used here to reach a warp barrel that you normally need a tire for, but getting the tire takes a little bit longer, and it's also very easy to lose the tire and screw yourself. But the way the super jump works is that you store a jump essentially, and you store that jump by sacrificing a Kong, and when they get near a wall, they exit the game essentially by jumping to the top of the screen if they're near a wall instead of running away like they normally do. And if you get that Kong back and then hold B as you sacrifice your other Kong, hold B as you gain control of the one you sacrificed originally, and then quickly land on an enemy without like ever doing a manual jump, you'll be in that infinite jump state that they did when they left. And you can keep gaining height the whole time until you let go of B, so it's an infinite jump. And that's used in a couple stages to skip a few things, and is also used in combination with other glitches and record runs to crazy fly over like all these stages. It gets pretty ridiculous.
Right. Now, as far as the, I'm seeing some of those the golden animal idols or the Kong letters. They're actually going to want to avoid collecting those because it takes you to like a little mini game. I think it is, right?
Yeah, the mini game for
it's the Kongs, obviously. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the Kong letters are fine. The tokens definitely take you to bonus games that are unskippable, and you would definitely lose ability. And it happens to everybody at least once, but there aren't. The only real risk, unless you're taking very strange routes, is the Espresso bonus, because there are a few Espresso tokens scattered about, but most of them are pretty easily avoidable. But there's one that's pretty hard to avoid in Poison Pond. So if you've collected a couple of the ones beforehand on accident, Poison Pond is really scary because it's very hard to avoid the token, one of the tokens there.
But there's obviously there's not a mini game for the Kong letters, but if you get all 4 of them, there's like a little animation that takes place where it stops the game and it shows that you've collected them all.
The Kong letters, no, it doesn't stop. They just do the animation on their own. So yeah, you're totally fine on the Kong letters. Although there's like one stage where you can actually collect all of them. It's very unlikely. You never really see it. Oh yeah, I wasn't even looking at that stream. I didn't see the Super Jump setup. But here's the other big use of the Super Jump. Now, there are some Super Jump alternate strats, like where you can use to make levels easier. Most of them found by Rainbow Sprinkles here in chat, actually. And normally I frown upon people doing that because it keeps them from actually learning the stage, super jumping when they're slower. But in this case, it'll be interesting to see if anybody decided to use those because we've only had a week to do it. Oh, unfortunate hit on Poisoncurls there. Oh, dang. Yeah, the jumps in this stage are pretty tricky. They're going on 2-4 now, which is Temple Tempest is a pretty tough stage for platforming. And I find it interesting to see that nobody opted for Espresso on this stage. There's Espresso and a bonus on this stage. It's about 5 seconds slower, but makes this stage infinitely easier, at least in my opinion. Nobody went for Espresso. We'll see if the others did it.
I want to know how strong these beavers are to be able to turn like a huge stone wheel like that.
Maybe they've got levers. They probably got levers in there.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is looking like no major skips right now. I've just learned this level without the warp, or not this level. Sorry, I'm thinking of Millstone Mayhem, but it kind of looks like that right now with. Am I mixing them up? Oh, Square is on Millstone Mayhem. Is that it? Yeah. Square must. Oh, Square, did you miss the warp? That must be what happened. I was thinking about Temple Tempest, which I think. Skunky is on right now. Yeah, okay. I got confused because they're the same type of level. Don't laugh at me, Rainbow. Come on. Now we're going into Orangutan Gang. Oh, leaving Orangutan Gang, rather. Man, I'm missing all my favorite stages looking at the other ones. I'm missing all my favorite stages on that stream. That one you just warp into. Did Zad do the map warp?
It's really hard to keep up with 4 different people.
Zad, did you do the map? Oh, I don't know if they've got their mics on.
Yeah, I did the map warp.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Left control. You just hold left control.
Square's trying to go for the warp in 3-1, but unfortunately this one is not only, it's a donkey only warp, but you have to get there fast enough. Now you can switch to Diddy to try to get there a little bit faster. Big key is to roll and not wait for this. Oh, he got it anyway. Okay, so generally if you happen to have to wait for that Neki, you won't be able to get to the warp. I've actually never seen anybody wait for that and get the warp anyway, so that's interesting. Well, let's see if he gets through that. That's really tough if you miss any of the barrel shots. Everyone ended the stage about the same time. That was funny. Alright, and now you'll see Skunky going for the map warp. I didn't explain this earlier, but on corners in between stages, there's one frame where you stop moving, and if you happen to press a button on that one frame, then you can you can just mash it because it doesn't prevent you. Nice, you got it first try. It's pretty hard to do, but generally you just mash, and the game thinks you're trying to end your stage because you're not moving and you're pressing a button, and for some reason it puts you in a Orangutan Gang. And it's a fun fact that used to be banned in this category for a period of time, but we decided that the definition of all stages would essentially be like beating all the stages, but you don't necessarily have to like enter them the same way. So to allow the map warp again. Okay, so that was done about 5 years ago. And
I'm going to go into a little bit more about the plot of the game to set up like why they're on the quest, because I just realized why you may be wondering why. You have to get your partner out of a barrel. Like if you see these guys get hit and they'll lose one of their players, you have to get the other ones out of the barrel, and that has to do with the plot of how the bananas were stolen. One stormy night, Donkey Kong assigns.
Oh no, not the GBA plot. Oh no, anything but that.
Well, tell you what, I'll read the GBA plot, and then you can give the commentary on it. You said you had a theory for the plot, right?
Yeah, the GBA plot is I don't know. It's something.
Well, I'll read it and then you can rebut. How's that? But yeah, Diddy. Donkey assigns Diddy to guard his hoard of bananas and promises to relieve him at midnight. He falls asleep and does not, otherwise known as pulling square. Later that night, the Kremlins overpower Diddy, seal him in a barrel, and steal all the bananas. Next morning, DK wakes up and he realizes he forgot to relieve Diddy. Cranky Kong begins to deride him, and DK resolves to find Diddy and rescue his bananas from the Kremlins. And you said that's the GBA plot?
That's the GBA plot,
Advance,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the GBA port is a disaster. Or remake, essentially.
I don't think I've ever played it, so I wouldn't know. You said you had a theory about the
oh no, Poison fell for the barrel trap. That stage is tough.
I love Poison's reaction.
Poison, why didn't you take the wart, man?
I missed it.
He missed it. And you just kept going out of. Well, I guess it works as long as you get there, but this stage is tough. Yeah, he's on a decent pace, but I can't read his splits. Oh yeah, sub 13 World 3 is pretty crazy. Oh no, he's going for the. Look at this guy going trying to go over the rope. You just swap the donkey and jump. This trick is pretty tough. But you have to stay above the screen when you're on the rope like this, you have to jump above the screen and then hold down as you grab the rope, and then you'll be able to make it. Hey, there he goes. Guess he, sometimes stubbornness. No, I know, I'm the same way sometimes. Gotta be careful, though, doing that in a race.
Go big or go home. I mean, and I'm sure the audience will appreciate everything being demonstrated. I try to usually go for like a no warp or all stages or, you know, that sort of category. That way our audience can actually see all of the game.
Most of it.
If time usually allows, you know. Some of the hitboxes on these creatures don't exactly line up with where you think that they would.
None of them.
You know?
None of them
Like,
do. I'm interested to see how Zad gets through the stage, because I've heard a lot of complaints about Espresso so far, which I was kind of surprised about. But it looks like this is very plain.
The ostrich. Like I would always get hit. So if you, I mean, you can finish.
Yeah,
like
but if
it
you
is
memorize
possible
the
to finish
stage,
the game with the ostrich, correct?
But finish the game with
or
it.
Finish
Right?
finish the level. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Zat's doing right now, actually. He's doing a really good job following the rat.
But I will never do it because...
Skunky is pretty close, the closest to Zat in a comfortable second place. And, ooh, that was scary. Yeah, you don't want to go for the... There's a trick called the barrel boost, which I didn't explain earlier, but you can grab a barrel, and if you jump off of a slope, you get a huge burst of speed. Oof, yeah. If you're Donkey, you're dead. That's how this game goes. And Donkey can do the trick as well, but he can't do the bounces off of the birds that the others can. Alright, and the others are in World 3, Squares in Clam City. And Poison is just... looks like he's going to save, I think. Meanwhile, Zat's in the longest stage in the game, 2 minutes and 15 seconds or so of just winning. Unguard is only near the end of the stage and is quite far away and actually isn't worth grabbing, which is kind of a travesty, but I understand why they wanted to, since this whole stage is supposed to be about these Octopi chasing you. It's understandable that they didn't include that, but man, it was a slow.
Yo, John,
it is a rough stage.
Follow.
Super jumping in 4-3. Oh gosh. How much slower is that?
Why are you following me?
What's up, CS Cash?
Alright, so oof, yeah, so losing on guard is really tough in this game sometimes because it can be very difficult to get him back. Like, you can grab on guard while you're invincible. You can, and we just found out, thanks to Zat, you can swap and remove your invincibility to get back on guard faster. I'd never tried that before, but apparently it works. And then when you swap back, you get to keep your you still have the invincibility from when you swap. No, I couldn't think of any use for that, and it doesn't retain stages, but I'd never heard of that before.
You'd think that the water stages would be easier. I mean, most water stages on platformer games are the ones you look forward to, but not in Donkey Kong. In Donkey Kong, you're most, like, or at least I am most prone to get lost or turned around. Or
I've never heard anybody in my life say they look forward to the water stages. That is quite the hot take.
I mean, like, I don't know, you know, like the Mario water stages, Mario World, or Super Mario World.
Yeah, no, I've only ever heard complaints like water stages are universally dreaded.
Well, maybe I'm just a casual gamer versus a speedrunner, but I mean, like, they're...
No, I mean in general. I think you've just got
like
a very unique take. That's cool though. You don't hear that very often at all. I like the donkey ones because of Vanguard. I think like normally swimming controls kind of tend to suffer in platformers, but Vanguard makes the stages fun. Alright, so now Skunky is Ooh. So if you don't get past, if you don't get past this mini Neki fast enough, he does do damage to you, unlike normal. You don't want to be using Donkey on Expresso though, because it's actually slower. So I recommend swap. I definitely recommend swapping. It'd probably Donkey on.
Does he not get as
Expresso.
much? He doesn't get as much
Donkey
length.
Yeah, Donkey weighs the bird down. Donkey literally weighs the bird down, so he runs slower. Water is the armpit of all. Alright,
Sloth not for president? Oxford? What are you doing, bro?
Hello.
Or for president, sorry. I'm responding to chat. Somebody wants me to be president. And I think that would be a horrible idea.
Alright, so Poison's getting through. Ooh. Temple Tempest right now. We've just got Skunky finishing up 4-3. It's 3 stages behind Zat. Zat is blowing everyone away right now. It's crazy.
I love it. Zat came to race.
Definitely looking like he grinded all week. And so one of the things about Croctopus Chase is, it's very easy to get lost, and if you take a wrong turn, you're definitely going to get hit by the octopus. 13 message super jumps, good lord.
Poison fall into the old beaver wheel on Temple Tempest.
Uh-oh. The Temple Tempest is really tough, man. That's why
the last two worlds
definitely
in particular, they're the roughest ones. Like I mean, as a kid, I couldn't beat them. You know.
Oh yeah, and then it only gets harder from there.
Kid back in the '90s, you know, trying to figure out the last levels was, it taught me to curse.
World 5 is actually probably the hardest in this game. I'd say 6 is pretty close, but nothing really compares to like stuff like Blackout Basement.
I mean, and if you consider all these games that were running, they came out pre-internet, so you couldn't just like Google a strat.
Surprisingly, GameFAQs came out. GameFAQs first went live in like '96 or mid '90s or something, like way sooner than I thought. But normally you need like Nintendo Power, like, buy the game guide or something.
I was subscribed, but that was like you were the cool kid at school if you had the Nintendo Power that had like all the skips or whatever. That was my childhood.
I didn't even know about it until I was like 12, actually. I had no idea the magazine existed.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. I'm 33, so a little bit of a generational gap, but I mean,
my
family was poor. We didn't have internet until after I graduated high school.
Okay, I didn't, not until high school, but like, it was definitely not until like middle. Definitely not when I was a kid, anyway.
Right.
Why is Zad's character invincible? He's probably not streaming in 60 FPS. And so sometimes when there's a flickering effect, but you're not streaming at 60, you won't be able to see the character.
Zad's already up on
Trick. Nice clean warp. Oh, super jumping. Oh, did you do the 5-1 super jump? I didn't pay attention. We're waxing nostalgia over here.
Yep.
Let's see, so
yeah, I did take the 5-1 warp, the super jump.
Nice. Pretty solid choice for a stage to skip, honestly. That one's pretty tough. Although any super jumps other than the 2 I mentioned, you lose time.
So just because I'm going to ask, just because I'm sure there are people here that want to know, Zat, you plan to stream a little more in the future?
See how it goes.
Yeah, I asked him about it.
Zat's actually been retired for 3 years. He had a son, and he stopped speedrunning, Snake Rattle, and stopped streaming. But I drug him out of retirement to commentate, and we're hoping that he gets back into the Twitch community and gives us some more good streams to watch. So make sure that you go.
Oh,
over
it's
to
the
this
light.
channel and
It's
follow.
Squawks. Oh no. Everybody shield your eyes for the laggy. Squawks is a tough position in this game. Squawks lags the howl level. And IMO makes it harder to play, but otherwise you have to like turn up your TV a little bit. The brightness, it's one of those. But yeah, I think I used to take Squawks when I first learned this game too. It was a long time ago, but I do remember that.
Good job, Scott.
Alright, so Zach's going through Poison Pond, which is definitely the toughest water stage. And there's another freaking auto charge. That one too, looks like. It's hard to tell, but on guard can be very difficult to maneuver when you're new. Because if there's an enemy in your face, he just like does auto self-defense.
Now, what are the enemies that he cannot buck through? The monsters.
You can literally buck through everything because you're invincible while charging. So you can actually charge through the mincers like he did. He did one charge right there through one, which is a standard strat. You can actually charge through 3 in a row right there, but that's the tough strat. The standard one is just waiting and then charging through the one using a visual cue on the ceiling to line it up.
Losing a couple of seconds there. Lost on guard right at the end, but not bad. That's a horrible stage.
It's definitely pretty tough. Skunky, meanwhile, is in the last stage in World 4, about to get to the boss. Let's see what he can do here. So, yeah, you can get under a lot of these speeds, but it's really tough. And there's a mechanic where you can actually roll off of a tire if you happen to roll on the edge. You can't do it in the center, but you can roll on the edge before it hits you. And meanwhile, Zat is doing a glitch. I guess it doesn't really have an official name. It's just the minecart. I call the minecart MCM fly. Maybe it's just the minecart glitch. If you get hit, if you roll into the minecart without jumping and you get hit, you can start rolling before you land in the minecart again, because the game doesn't realize, because you didn't jump into the minecart, that you're not still on the ground, and it remains that way until you pass over a next bit of ground, which doesn't happen until a platform way later in the stage on this one. And so you have to roll through the second half, but it actually can be continued in some other situations as well, after you bounce off of a tire later on, for example. And also, if you die but you went through the halfway barrel, you can start it from the halfway barrel too. And Skunky's making his way through 5-1. Looks like he's not opting for the super jump, so we'll get to see how he handles that. This is another really, really tough stage, but really fun once you get it down. It's another one with an SJR nowadays, so unfortunately a lot of people's fun was ruined.
Is that taking the death on Blackout Basement?
Oh yeah, that's
It's not over yet.
no, it's depending on how certain stages go, they could have somebody catch up. Ooh, I haven't seen. I'm not sure if I've seen that roll. Did I put that in a newbie video, or did I just? I actually don't know. I don't remember. This stage was really tough to come up with like a newbie friendly route for, because generally it's just, you just have to memorize the level. For this one, like, you can't take any shortcuts unless you wait. The other time is waiting. Oh yeah, Poison's having a pretty tough time, but it's this game can be really punishing. Going through Clam City now. Yeah, and just try to hang on and guard as best you can.
The timing of the bucks with on guard is key.
He's gonna despawn. No, he didn't despawn. Wow, nice. That's good. All right, I'm interested to see how Skunky finishes 5-1 on the hardest part of the stage, where you have to wait on tires to make your way through oil drums. Now the oil drums, the fire doesn't hurt you when it's not fully extended. Oh, he's taking the long way. There we go. Nice. And Diddy can also land on the edge of them without taking damage, but that's really tough. Ooh, just barely dodging the shark. Squares in the good old long water stage. And donkey only, so there's a DK barrel coming up right here. Just
Skunky got to work on trick. Nice.
I ruined it for him, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's see. Zat just finished World 5. Wow. And Skunky's in 5-3. This is one of the worst stages to beat Donkey on. Like, seriously, like, he can't do anything with the shreds. It's really sad. Get that swap. You can't swap on slopes, so it can get a little weird sometimes. Let's see. Making our way through Clam City and Poison Stream. Just gotta hug that wall as best you can.
It's so hard to keep up. This is more fast paced than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot going
Each
on.
level is maybe a minute if you're lucky, if you have good execution. So it's really hard to keep your eyes on all three runners and
yeah, definitely.
and to say something meaningful.
Especially when they're all in different places. That's a big
Exactly.
That's a big thing. Now, yeah. So 5-3 Donkey on 5-3 again is really tough, and this is one of the only stages in the game that has a lot of vertical movement. The other one being 4-2. They added a lot of vertical stuff in BKC2, but in this game, this is one of the rare ones. These elevators. Now you can skip the cycle at the very end with the elevators, but I would be surprised if anybody was going for that. But you just gotta ride them up and down and make your way across. Good burn to, oh yeah, okay. Now you can't tell really from these streams. Well, actually, you can tell from Poisons. The B flashes red and yellow, and you just have to wait. It gets really, really fast. But if you miss a freaking fast hit on this B, then you have to like wait forever because Diddy can't reach one of the Bs at the top of the screen, and sometimes Donkey can't either, depending on where you jump from. And so on Tut here, you have to grab fuel cans to keep the platform alive, and if you run out of fuel, you instantly lose a life. Like, they just like act like they're losing a bonus game, and it's really tough with donkeys. So let's see, this would be a very, very bad stage to take a fall on. Ooh, that was never seen anyone duck there before. That's scary. He opted to not go for the barrel. That barrel shoots you at the end of the stage. And yeah, that's a really, really tough death. So Skunky might have a chance to catch up here. Oh, it's right at the end of the stage. But it's still going to be a little while because Skunky still has to go through Blackout and the longest boss in the game. So we'll see how this goes. Square's making his way through Torchlight Trouble, also with the bird. Taking it real safe now, although Diddy cannot land on the clumps, but Diddy can roll through them, however, but it makes it really tough for this stage. And the speedrun strat actually has you bouncing off of a few of them on purpose backwards, as well as the crushes. If you just like turning around right before you land on them and bouncing yourself forward instead. So I had a minute of time to save on that. Dang. Yeah, it's
turning around with squawks, man. Like that really does, like, you could set somebody off if they had epilepsy.
Yeah, they have that. They took out that frame of pure white on the BC release actually, but for this game BC is slower. Believe it or not, you lose a whole minute to dancing. Because you can speed up the dance, the victory dance, after each stage by pressing buttons, but you can't do it on 1.2 or on PAL or the Japanese version. It's not really a glitch, but they changed it for some reason, just for more dancing. Oh no. The barrels, the barrels. Oh, so Skunky opted not to go for the minecart fly glitch, which is fine because it only... How much does it save? No, it's the jumper that saves 3 seconds. I think the fly saves like 7 or 8 or something like that. It is a pretty substantial amount of time, but it's a hard trick to learn at first. Ooh, the Mincer's SJR Rainbow is very happy right now, I'm sure. This is another really, really tough stage. We have to use Ramby, and Ramby in this game has input delay on his jumps. So Rainbow being, again, one of the people that found a bunch of newbie-friendly super jumps for many stages that they weren't used on. Additionally, Rainbow found the super jump roll, the combination of the jump roll and super jump that lets you fly while you're gaining, that lets you roll while gaining height, which completely changed the game a couple of years ago.
Skunky, I think, was that Minecart Madness that he's on?
Yeah, Skunky's at Minecart Madness.
Those bees, they have really deceptive hitboxes whenever you're going uphill. That's what I noticed whenever I was playing.
Yeah, that's the toughest part of the game.
There's one part where you're just going slightly uphill and you're trying to jump over bees.
What you want to do is not try to eyeball it, but just use the planks on the
made it. Look at it. Good job,
nice.
Skunky.
Yeah, you use planks, the planks on the minecart path to time your jump. So just use them as a visual cue. Don't try to eyeball it. That's how it gets dangerous.
I wish I'd known that.
That's just the speedrun trick. I got another super jump. Yeah, just that's gonna. It's a pretty good choice here, especially because he's way in the lead and can totally afford to do this completely safe through these levels. They generally lose about like what 10 seconds or something compared to a clean playthrough of them, but totally and completely safe as long as you don't mess up the setup or whatever. Yeah, you can see in Skunky's situation what it looks like to play this stage without having fully memorized it. I'm really surprised that Zat was pretty quick on this one as well. That he was definitely going for more than I even put into the newbie video, so he was practicing on the other ones. But it's really, really, really tough. And Square made it to World 5. Poison is still slogging through the trenches in World 4, which are always really tough. This is where the game really takes a huge difficulty spike. But Square made it out and is working through 5-1 right now. What's that?
Let's see how he does with espresso.
Yeah, it's looks like he did his studying.
We're rooting for you, Poison. No, not like this.
Almost at the end of Blackout. Almost at the end of Blackout on Skunky's stream. Oh, so close. There's just one more claptrap. Don't fall for it. There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, keep rooting.
Yeah, no.
Zad's making his way through loopy lights. This one you have no squawks to help you, so once the lights shut off, it has a barrel type system like stop and go, but you turn the lights on and off. And with the lights off, you just have to deal with it. And it can also be seen better on a TV, especially a CRT, or even more so if you happen to be on emulated than you can see here.
Are there speedrunners that know the game so well that if they miss a light, they can still do it, like they just have it in their muscle memory?
You can see it well enough that you don't even turn the lights on. The only time the lights are on are when they get in the way. When they happen to be in the way, we don't turn the lights on intentionally. They also cause lag a little tiny bit when they shut off, so you don't want to hit them if not necessary. Again, Blackout, you cannot see the platforms except very, very, very faintly, but Blackout is done completely in the dark when the lights are off. So, and if you mess up a little bit, then the sequence of lights, which is timed, becomes like the lights will be on and off in different places if you're not going, if you mess something up. So, yeah, Blackout, you have to just purely memorize.
Skunky and Zat taking deaths on the roly-polies.
The armors are definitely one of the easiest enemies to die to. The way they move, they back up.
They're rather fast.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the barrel drum, what's that barrel drum called? He has
It's
a name.
just called a dumb drum.
Dumb drum? Okay, so
Yeah.
dumb drum, he drops 2 of them, so even if you kill one, the other one can be rolling so fast that you actually just, hit the ground and
Oh yeah, you have to.
no time to jump again.
You have to roll into them. You can Diddy can roll into them to stop them from rolling, and then once they're not rolling themselves, that's how you have to dispatch them with Diddy. Donkey can just jump on them.
Good job, Skunky.
Alright, halfway through Platform Perils, and you can doesn't really need much of an explanation as to why this is the toughest stage in the game. These platforms only last for a short while, and if you're not already moving to the next one, you're gonna be screwed. And you miss a jump, it's also not so nice. You can skip some of these platforms, but it's not surprising to you know, you don't want to do that right off the bat. It's pretty scary. Squares having trouble with 5-1, it seems. Just have to slowly make your way across. No, there is a hidden DK barrel here, a little bit later that he can grab if he is aware of it. Or, no, I think he passed that. But there's another one going to be on the platform just here, so there we go.
So that's actually nearing the end of the game at 40 minutes. That's crazy, man.
Oh, did Zat take a death? Oh, okay. Dang. Let's, so we got Poison going through Croctopus Chase, Skunky on an auto-scroller. Croctopus Chase might as well be an auto-scroller too. Square's waiting out the barrels here. This is the final tough part of 5-1. So just got Zat with the real perilous.
I gather that we have several of the DKC community in our chat right now. You were mentioning Rainbow earlier, finding a bunch of different
yeah,
mechanics and skips in the game.
Dad Loves Beer is
Beer.
more recent.
I like that name. I like you already. But what does the community think of our runners? Like these guys, again, they learned of this game last Sunday and they've been practicing since then. How do you think they're doing?
Zad's looking like a serious runner, definitely. Skunky definitely has potential as well.
And Zad
but
hasn't even been playing.
Like we can tell, I can tell who's been grinding the wiki strats. Yeah. I can tell he's been grinding those videos. Definitely. Right. Square and Poison, you know, it's just like this game is super punishing if you don't really commit them to memory, and that's pretty much what we're saying here. I'm sure they put the work into it. Just it's really, you've got, like, that's why I was trying to stress people, like, check the wiki, read those tutorials. You don't want to wing anything. Yeah, like once you get it down, it becomes much easier. And Poison, let's see. Oof, yeah. See, that's what I meant right there. Taking the wrong turn. When you're swimming up in this game, by the way, if you hold up, you go faster.
Oh, I did not know that either.
That's an important thing. Yeah. A mid 44 on
that is on the final boss.
Yep. And so K-Roll charges a few times, tosses his crown, and then switches to a cycle of cannonballs and a couple other things like that. Square's doing pretty well as well. He was having trouble early with 5-1 and managed to get through that. And World 5 has a lot in store though. Hopefully he can make it through. So it's definitely a slog if you die one time for this game. This can be super frustrating. One Skunk is at the end of Tanked Up Trouble, just made it through that, and I wonder if we'll see. He didn't do a super jump at 5-1. It would be interesting to see if he did any other super jumps, or if he'll have to, or if he learned Rambi. That'd be really cool. Nope. Oh, here we go with the super jump. Okay, so he will be doing this one. A pretty solid choice, I think, for only having a week to learn in this game. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I admire all these guys. Like, all these guys are great runners, and like, I put them through this every week. You know, they do take weeks off from time to time, but I do put them through this same crap every single week, and they do amazingly well. I mean, whilst playing their own games, like these guys are all runners in their own right. I mean, Skunky's a world record holder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and if you've never seen any of his runs, dude, go check him out. He's amazing. He actually can complete the game damageless. He just did that recently. Not even joking. I never would have thought that was even possible. But
okay, it looks like Skunky opted to not go for the super jump, or maybe is forgetting in the moment how to. Yeah, he's forgetting how to set it up in the moment. Well, be careful with Rambi. Not sure if I recommend that one.
44-25.
But you can play the stage without Rambi if you've had trouble. If you've decided to have, if you've had trouble with it, practicing with him, and that's why you're opting for the super jump, you can also just play the stage normally, which is a little bit easier. Yeah, that used to be the newbie strat before the super jump was found. Oh, and yeah, Zat finished with a 44.25. Look at that. That is a really good first run time out of all, first race anyway. Mine was a 47 years ago, so that's much better than me.
I might have a new run.
There are definitely newer strats today, though.
That is very true. And I was using the classic Cushy Darcy strats, which took a lot of safeties. So he opted for Rambi, Skunky did, but it's Rambi's really tough. Again, he has input delay. I don't know what. I think they wanted to make him feel really heavy, so they added delay to his jumps. But if he auto charges, he can't jump. So Rambi is a freaking nightmare, and takes a lot of practice. So yeah, like I said, the newbie strat before the super jump was just playing the stage without him, like not even touching him. And really, Rambi mainly saves time by sacrificing him halfway through the stage. So you also have to do some really gutsy strats. Yeah, and my 47 was with like 2 weeks of practice, by the way, not just one.
That's a contender. Like I said before,
I think I died on key roll though.
I haven't even really played this game in 20 years, maybe more.
Oh, so you didn't have a lot of casual experience before learning it?
Well, we got the game. My dad got it for us back when it came out, the Christmas it came out, and I remember playing it for like 2, 3, maybe 4 years, and then it's been in my collection, just sitting there for 20 years now.
Wow. You didn't pull it out once, dang.
Now, you did quit streaming when you had your son. Did you quit gaming altogether, or were you able to sneak in some?
Oh no, I definitely sneak in the gaming. I just don't have really the ability to. We have a pretty small house, and he's a wild one for sure, so streaming is kind of a little bit out of the question right now.
Yeah, it's understandable. Do you have him playing any? How old is he?
He just turned 3 last week, and I have a video on my phone when he was 1 year old. I actually gave him an NES controller, and I turned Mario Brothers on, and he was using the buttons. He was just pressing the A button a couple times, but I had him playing the game at 1, so...
That's funny. Oh yeah, looks like did Poison forfeit? He might have decided to take a break or something. Maybe something came up. Alright, so Square's going into... oh, Square must have died. So yeah, unfortunately you can't save unless you can funky back to another barrel. So if you can funky back to a previous world, or until you get to Candy in the next world. So sometimes you just have to take a loss of a few stages. It really sucks. Yeah, it might have been this game. Like I said, it's super, super frustrating.
Skunky moving up to loopy lights.
I did have one thing happen to me during the week when I was practicing. I was on stage 4.
Oh, there he goes.
I was on stage 4-1, and it was in the area where the snow gets heavier, and then there are all those birds in those barrel area.
Yeah.
So I was bouncing off the birds. I bounced off 2 or 3 of them before the star barrel. And then I died. I'm like, I start at the halfway point, which is right before that. So I get right there pretty much right away, and then I jump on one bird, and then my game goes black. The music was still playing, but none of the inputs functioned, and the game was just black.
When did that happen?
Last week, or a couple days ago, I mean, when I was practicing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'd never had the game hard lock on me before.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, the loopy is really tough, so I didn't explain this originally, but in loopy, all the claptraps jump when you jump, so you have to bait them into jumping and navigate very, very carefully through the stage. I forgot to mention that. It's just like something I don't even think about nowadays because it's so usual. I've ad-libbed this commentary like 100%. Like I said, it's really interesting to commentate a race where everyone's on a different stage. That's really tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and I'm trying to keep up with chat, and respond. It's really tough. Like, I think this is a viewer PB for the Sloth race, so
nice.
Hyped for that. thanks everybody for the hosts and for promoting it. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to keep up with everybody.
I don't know if I remember to host the channel actually. Shit, well, I at least tweeted and stuff about it. Posted in just some discords.
It's all appreciated. Poison getting naughty 2 down.
Look at that with Donkey. With Donkey, there's one more claptrap. There we go. Beautiful.
Only one more stage to go.
Squares on 5-3, making his way.
So Zat, how did you like it? I mean, did you enjoy the prep? You enjoy the race?
Oh yeah, definitely. Is a bunch of great guys. Everyone's really nice and friendly, and the environment's really friendly. And it's there's pressure, but it's only like, oh man, I want to do good. It's not, oh man, I hope I don't do bad. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to understand, like, it's the challenge of learning a game in a week.
Why are you following me?
Yeah, he's rolling through platform barrels.
But Zed, I'd love to have you back, man. That was amazing. You're an amazing gamer. I'd like to see more of you.
Yeah, appreciate it. And thanks for the invite. And it was a blast, definitely.
Next week's game, I'm really curious to see what you can do on it. Like I told you before, it's an auto scroller, so but it's definitely one that should be in your collection, so it should be readily available.
I was right.
And I'll give you guys a little hint. We actually have the world record holder in chat right now. If you guys want to take a guess of who that is, but he's going to be my commentator next week. So,
is it the Sloth bot?
Yes, the Sloth bot. That's exactly right. He's a TAS. Just program him, he can run anything. No, we actually have the human world record holder in chat. He said hi earlier. Let me see if I can't tell you just yet.
Oh man, you're killing me. Because I have several auto-scrollers in my NES collection, but I don't have all of them.
You'll probably have this one. Most everybody has this one.
I'm missing a couple. I mean, I got like Silver Surfer, and I think I have Life Force, but not too many more than that.
I won't say it, but I guessed it like 3 days ago. That's funny.
It better not be something like King's Knight.
Just have to wait and see. But he is in chat right now. If he wants to say something or introduce himself, maybe somebody can start Googling him and figure out what the game is. But I'll leave that up to him.
To that.
Start trying to figure it out. But I've actually been in contact with him. The Sloth race is actually going places, guys. I've got next week's game already lined up, and the week after that we're going to be doing a game that does not currently have an established world record. It is not listed on speedruns.com. It is not listed on SDA. I could not find a legitimate human world record for it anywhere on the interwebs. So we're going to make one. So the winner of the Sloth race will be the world record holder.
Did you ever get in contact with that task, the guy who did the task?
No, emailed, no response. He might not be active anymore. His task was a little old.
What was the date?
I think it was 2014 when I saw.
Not too old though. There's some
maybe
tasks go back a lot older than that sometimes.
They do.
I saw. Yeah, that'd be. Oof.
But
let's see how Skunky has had some trouble in platform perils, but he's just about to get to the end now. Yeah. And just a couple more jumps.
Those platforms are counterintuitive.
Beautiful. Oh yeah.
You kind of get baited.
He's dancing. He's dancing. He's doing a victory dance.
Skunky's excited.
Do a slap slide. Do a slap slide.
Skunk is always fun to watch.
Congrats on that, man. That stage is really tough. Hey, Sloth, one thing I find it pretty strange. In the future, I think it would be better to not have the runners on commentary while we're commentating, because that can create pressure for people. I think it would definitely be better to have them in like a separate room, maybe if they want to talk to each other and be on voice chat, but definitely generally commentary is done away from the runners.
I definitely welcome any sort of input that people might have on the format. Just put them in the race prep. and then we can talk about them.
Yeah.
The idea is to have them be able to respond to interesting things that happen.
Yeah. I think post race interviews are a good idea. Just like I was just thinking about, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything. Like, you can literally commentators curse somebody even more so than usual because they're hearing what you're talking about and it might put pressure on them. That's pretty.
But you said something earlier, like you said you can hold up while swimming and you can swim vertically faster.
Yeah, y'all were swimming without holding up. What the fuck? I said, I'm like, how's that octopus not? How's that octopus catching up with him on this one long vertical section? Like, oh my god, they're not holding up, are they? Oh god, it's swimming upwards is so hard without holding up. Jesus, y'all are. That's funny. Yeah, gotta hold up. I don't think that's mentioned on the wiki though. I guess I should mention. I guess I should add that in there. But generally, we expect people to have more familiarity with the physics of the game, normal like controls and stuff. It's not often that people.
I don't think it's mentioned in the manual, is it?
I mean, maybe not, because people tend to just like hold the direction they're going.
Yeah, if anybody has any, if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the panels below my stream. And if you have any suggestions on the format of the race or any suggestions for games in the future, you can join that, and you can put them in the general Sloth Race chat, and I will read them. Obviously, if you suggest a game and I agree to have it, I cannot confirm or deny, but I look at all of them. So all suggestions will be taken into account.
And by the way, Peachy, during one of the on guard, a couple of times I switched Kongs and I got on guard immediately, and it was a lifesaver.
Nice. That's a sick find. Rainbow, did you know
that?
Skunky
got crushed. No, at the very end.
Oh no, the K-roll death that happened to me on my first race. The K-roll death right at the end. Like, I tried to roll away from a jump and then I accidentally slapped instead and bam, dead. Did you know that you can freaking store invincibility in water stages? Or like on an animal buddy? Like when you get hit, you can swap right away in the water. And then you'll lose your invincibility. Like the other Kong won't have invincibility, but if you switch back to the initial one, they'll still have it. And I tried to like see if it carried over into another stage, but it didn't seem to be the case. But Zat here found that randomly. Or no, Zat found that the swapping got rid of invincibility, but then I noticed that the invincibility carried over when I was testing it out. So if you swap back, because you only lose the animal buddy, you don't lose the Kong. If you swap back, the invincibility stays. Like that's never knew that one. I can't imagine anywhere that would be useful. It's neat. You need barrel storage. I didn't know that either. So Square and Poisoncurls are actually at the same spot. So
yeah, dude, I can't beat this game.
Yeah.
Even with casual strats, this game's awesome.
Dude, casual strats are harder, dude.
I know,
like,
but I just like didn't have that much time this week. I got like the first 4 worlds down pretty well, and I got hung up on 4-1 for like a day and like 20 minutes in this race too. I don't know, 4-1 is just impossible.
4-1's really hard. Yeah, when you're learning on a limited schedule, especially like I always think of like the 12-hour challenges. You gotta move on sometimes and just let it be. If you're having a lot of trouble, come back later.
GG, Skunky, well done.
Nice, finished. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that it doesn't carry over, but it would have been sick if it did. Like, maybe that would have been so. Maybe.
GG, Zat. Good stuff, man.
Like, can you fucking imagine if you did that, then switch stages, and then you just had invincibility the whole time? I could just see something like that happening. That seems like a video game glitch. It sadly didn't work, but... Oh yeah, Poison took the lead on Square now. Maybe we'll see.
That is one upgraded chipmunk right there.
Chipmunk.
Square getting him down.
But if you call it a chipmunk, you can't make Pound the Beaver jokes.
Oh, yeah.
But see, Square's been to World 5 a few times now, and just hasn't been able to get past 5-3 to be able to save. Which is a real stupid design flaw of this game, honestly. Like, you should be able to save when you want, like, Jesus. Like, in between any stage, they were like, nope.
I'm so bad. Yeah, these World 5 levels, I just, like, don't have in my memory a mental picture of the level at all. So I just, like...
Yeah, I got you.
I just kind of hope I make it.
Alright, Sloth, I think I gotta head out for now. I've got something else planned today, so I'm gonna cut on commentary a little early, but hopefully I did a decent job.
Yeah,
I improvised it entirely.
Appreciate your help.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Good to meet everybody. I'll see y'all around.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thanks, dude. Sorry I suck.
Nah.
Thanks for commentating.
I just Zat here is definitely a freaking dirty grinder. How many hours did you put in a day, Zat?
The first day I mastered World 1, well, mastered as in, like, I went through all the tricks, and then I did World 2 on the second day, 3 and 4 on the third day, and then 5 and 6 for like yesterday and the day before. I probably put in 10 to 15 hours.
Total?
Hey, Peachy, before you cut out, do you want me to do the reveal for next week's game so you can...
I already know what it is.
Oh, you do? I didn't... Well, do you want me to confirm?
As soon as you told me, it was, like, super obvious.
Yeah,
as soon as you, like...
It's Star Fox.
You mentioned it was an auto... Yeah, Star Fox. Yeah. And then I checked the Star Fox boards and saw Loki in the chat. Was in the chat, I'm like, yeah.
But the next week's game is Star Fox for Super NES. Loki is in chat right now. That's L-O-W-K with 4 E's. And I've been in contact with him this week, but yeah, should be a super fun run. Very lag reduction centered, according to.
Yeah. Oh, it was when he told me that you couldn't do emulator for this game because it was too different to console. I'm like, that has to be Star Fox.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You didn't even mention that it was an auto scroll. I knew that Star Fox was stupid with the Super FX1 chip, and that's why they had to make the 2.
Yeah, that, and well, Loki joined the Discord earlier this week, and he said hi, and I was like, I wonder if anybody will pick up on that, you know? Because I mean, it's the same as his Twitch name, so if you wanted to do a little sleuthing, you could have figured it out then.
Yeah, no, I didn't look at anybody in the Discord as a whole.
I'm definitely excited for next week. Excited to have Loki on. And it was a game I played a lot as a kid, so. Would you like to race it? You're guaranteed a spot in if you want it.
Yeah, why not?
This week. Sure. All right.
Why not? I've definitely never beaten SNES Star Fox before.
All right, but it's going to be, I think, like level 1, warpless 100%. I think is the category that we're going to do. Because I like everybody to see the entire game, or as much of the game as possible with one.
Level 1, 100% warpless.
Yeah. And I think the world record is, what is that, 23-minute world record? Okay, any percent level 1 warpless. Okay. What's the world record on that category, low-key?
Looks like 22 minutes. Yeah, I was about to say 100% in the Star Fox game is kind of tough.
I think that's the category I was thinking of. But yeah, Zat, as the winner, you're guaranteed to place in next week's race. What do you think? Do you want to learn Star Fox?
Star Fox. I remember seeing this game back, I must have been like 7 or something. One of my friends had it. And I tried it out for a couple minutes, and I've never played the game since then. I actually don't own this one. I'll have to see if I can get my hands on a copy. I don't know if my local game store has it.
I found it here for like $18. So, I mean, and they had like several copies there. And I live in a pretty small town, too. Like, we got 30,000 people in the town I live in, and only one retro gaming store. So my impression just from where I am, it was fairly common, but I mean, if you can get your hands on a copy, we'd love to have you.
Oh, poison! Damn.
Oh man,
Poison
those
almost
barrels.
So trolly. That fire is it freaks you out.
Back to World 4. Feels bad, man.
Yuck.
You can so what you can do is after you beat the World 4 boss, you can you don't have to go straight into World 5. You can go back to World 4 and save, and then enter World 5. So then all you have to all you have to do is beat the boss again, or you can just use Funky. You don't even have to beat the boss again. You can just use Funky. Another thing that I totally should have mentioned, but when you game over in this game, there's a cheat code that you can enter to just go back to the stage you were on. But I didn't know, like, normally on SRL, cheat codes are banned, so I didn't really think about it.
That would have been nice to have as a kid.
Yeah, you type out Diddy when Cranky's playing his record player. With so down is D, so you press DY, DDY, and it puts you into a room with all the bonus, with all the animal tokens. And the idea is that you use the animal token games to farm lives, and then you start select out of it, and then you go back to where you were. But you don't actually have to play the animal buddy bonuses. I'm pretty sure you can just start select and go straight to where you were, and you'll just have no lives. But you won't be but it won't be a game over. You just can't die again. You have to farm lives some other way. It's a weird one, but yeah.
So the Sloth race is open to anybody that's in chat that wants to throw their hat in the ring. So if anybody has the game, you can volunteer now.
But alright, I'll definitely consider working on Star Fox this week. I'll definitely jump into the race, I think.
Okay.
But I'll look at it. I'll look at it first and confirm tomorrow.
Okay, we'll do that.
Alright, take it easy.
Loki wants to volunteer. Unfortunately, you have to commentate, my friend. I was a little afraid to pick Star Fox. Like, I really want to see it because I really love the game, but at the same time, since you do have to have the cart and you can't emulate, I was a little scared to pick it. But hopefully we'll find 4 volunteers that have the cart, that have the capability to stream, make a good run of it. Yeah, Zad, if you want to, I guess, check out the local stores and see if you can get your hands on it.
Yeah, I think I got 3 or 4 local game stores within 10 miles of me, so I can check them all out tomorrow, maybe.
I picked it up at like Play and Trade for like $18.
It's a game I've always wanted to try playing, but never just had the ability to get my hands on a copy. And it kind of just slipped through the cracks, you know.
Loki says, "Yeah, I would love to see what the other guys can come up with." Yeah. So after Star Fox, we're gonna do the game that has no established world record. That one's gonna be real fun, and I do have the ROM for that game, so pretty much anybody can play it. And I'm going to try to see if I could expand the race to include 9 players by then. No promises, but since it isn't a wide open game, I'd like as many people to be able to participate as you can, sort of kick off the community, generate interest in the game. And I know that Skunky's taking next week off. He's pretty adamant. This has been a full month of learning new games for him, so he wants a breather.
Switched.
You know what this game reminds me, or this level reminds me of, like the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi, like their little village. That's what I think about every time I see this level. And you almost have to wonder if it was modeled off of it.
I think one of the most annoying parts of speedrunning this game is whenever you do a roll, if you don't jump or hit an enemy after a few frames, you just stop dead in your tracks. So I guess it's all like more important to know when not to roll than when to roll sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of timing issues. Come up with it. There is no RNG though. Like, I mean, like the only RNG I think is in the bird boss fight. I'm pretty sure. So I think most of the game is just timing and memorization.
Yeah, it actually gets to start to feel like almost like a puzzle game at some points because it's just pressing certain buttons in certain orders. Not that most games aren't like that, but this one in particular being that there's no RNG, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is true. I'll probably never look at this game the same way again. Thanks.
I've had fun. Yeah, it's different for me. Like, I mean, I get to play the game, but most of it is lining up commentators and just trying to make sure everything runs smoothly for you guys. You know, like trying to get in contact with Loki this week. You know, a little bit of a delayed reaction there, but we eventually did get in touch, and I just wanted to make sure that I had him from the very start. That way, you guys have a resource. You know, someone that you can, like, you know, talk to in the prep channel, just to ask questions and stuff like that. But like, I guess that's what I'm better at as far as gaming goes. Like, that's the reason my avatar is like Sloth in a Flash outfit. It's because I've always loved video games and speedrunning, but I've never particularly had a talent or the patience or time to be able to like be so good at execution like you guys are. But I'm really good at administrative stuff and networking, so at least I get to see these games destroyed by like truly epic runners, and I get to live vicariously through you guys. That was the whole point of it. Another death for poison.
I'm going Deathless World 5 right here.
Get it?
Probably not ever gonna happen. This world is so hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
What these designers were just cruel people.
Well, I mean, and that's with retro games. You know, the older the game, the more difficult it had to be to have any kind of longevity, I guess. You didn't really. You're not really able to make the game long based on the memory capacity of the game, so you just have to make it difficult. And that's what you see more often than not. I mean, like Snake Rattle and Roll was notoriously difficult, and there was no save feature either. So there's some pretty tough spots to Star Fox, but I think it's going to be all right. I mean, as far as the length and difficulty goes. You guys are allowed to suggest games too, but you have to do it in like Scout's honor that you've never ran them before. So if there's a game you'd like to learn, you can always suggest it. Yeah, those oil barrels there, you can actually only, the fire will only kill you whenever it's at its maximum animation. It's not actually hurtful to you whenever you're... Poison made that same mistake with the fire on the oil drum that he did before. And they troll you, man. But it can actually only hurt you whenever it's at its maximum height. And it's only there for like a second. But you can actually jump on them right as it's coming out or going down. And I think Peachy said that you can jump on the edge of the oil barrel. There are so many things that this game does to like trick you and just troll you into a death.
Why is this so hard? Shit.
Poison getting troubled by the Kremling.
Dude, we got this. I'm never giving up.
I'll never let go. I'll never let go. I think you got it. I mean, the last two worlds are hard, but they're not. I mean, apparently this is the toughest one according to Peachy.
Don't you fuck me now, bird.
Snooky says Turtles in Time would be cool if you want to add that to the official game suggestion list. I will do that.
Turtles in Time is definitely a fun game. That happens to be one that I have. I've only played it a couple times, but never run it.
Yeah, it's hard because like I want to pick the one thing that I want to try to accomplish with the race is 100% like impartiality and integrity as far as like giving you specifically 1 week to practice. But that means I can't be like, hey guys, how about running this game? You know what I mean? So I have to maintain like a totally neutral attitude towards literally everything that's said with regard to game suggestion, and it's really, really hard whenever you're as enthusiastic as I am about all this stuff. Because like the first thing that I want to do whenever I think of a game is share it, you know? I'm thinking about maybe I'm thinking about what to do with Halloween. Like I don't know how many people will have like availability on Halloween, or if we'll be able to put together a good race. Like I don't know if people have like kids that want to take trick or treating, or they have Halloween costume parties to go to or something. But if we have enough racers, then we can do a race that week. I just kind of got to know up front. But I'm happy to set one up and commentate because I'm not going to go anywhere. Hey, Low-Key, are you still in chat? Yeah, you are. Hey, Loki, if you want to, you can come into the Discord, the Sloth Race commentary, and you can say hello and greet everybody, since you're the commentator for next week, if you would like. I just gave you the perms.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Yeah, we're having fun here. So yeah, you were telling me about Star Fox. It's an auto-scroller game. Like, what got you into running it?
It's like my number one or number two pick, like favorite games of all time. As a kid, I played it a lot. And there's something about it. I think it's like, I don't know, just the environment of it is really cool. I think it's just a really cool looking game. So yeah, I just been playing it like my whole life for fun, and then I just decided, oh no, I looked at SDA and I saw this guy Sir VG. He had the records on SDA, and I was like, I could beat that guy. I'm good at this game. I think I can do it. And then so I watched his videos, and I spent a while trying to beat him. I did it. After a while, I was gonna submit to SDA, but at that time, speedrun.com wasn't as big, so like there wasn't much of a community.
Yeah, speedrun's gotten bigger in the last few years.
Yeah. But I've been running the game for a long time. I started out. It's funny that you mentioned emulator, because I started out on emulator because I figured, oh, it's faster, so that should be the one to do, right? But like some of my first runs were on emulator, and it's a completely different game. It's so fast. It's actually really hard.
Oh, okay. So you're flying faster on the auto-scroller, so you have, like, I guess, less time to react to enemies?
Yeah, it's actually pretty damn hard. But I ended up getting a console, got the cart, and then I just went into it. I like the game as a speedrun because it's very unassuming. Like it is an auto-scroller, but you can really you can go so much faster than this thing that looks like. Based on just like, I don't want to give too much away. You can watch like my runs and you'll see it like pretty clearly. But the biggest, I mean, you'll notice it right away. You boost the whole time.
Yeah.
So you're constantly holding boost. So get used to claw gripping, because you're gonna be clawing down that boost button the entire time.
Yeah, you mentioned lag reduction is going to be a big part of the game. What about RNG? How much is that in there?
There's very little RNG. All the enemy spawns are in the same place. It's all dependent on like where you are on the screen. RNG, like some bosses have RNG, but you can manipulate the way the bosses like move or attack, and same with enemies. You can kind of manipulate where they spawn based on where you are. So a lot of it's just trial and error, knowing what the best route to go is that has the least amount of lag. And it's also like it's better for me. It's honestly, for a speedrun, it's better to do any percent, because 100% is really weird. Like the game's algorithm for calculating 100% is really bad.
Okay.
Like it doesn't, like, I can't even. I've tried to figure it out and I cannot figure it out. Like I'm not sure if it's like each enemy has a certain amount of points that give you to get up to 100%, because you don't need to kill them all for 100%. Like you don't need to kill all the enemies to get 100% sometimes. So I have runs for them, but I'd recommend just any percent. So it's kind of a balance between, do you kill all the enemies, or do you leave some alive so you're not shooting and making more lag. So this is just a fine balance between that.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. Well, obviously Peachy's gonna check up and see if he wants to run. Zad, I assume you will run if you can get a hold of the game.
Yeah, we'll see if I can get a hold of the game.
And need probably one more. What I might do, if we only have 3 runners that want to step up to the plate, what I'll have you do is, if you think you're up to it, commentary while doing a run of your own. That way people can see you doing, like, you know, what is expected of a top tier runner of the game versus what somebody that has had a week to practice can pull off.
Yeah,
that'll
take up,
that'll take up, you know, 1/4 of the, because I like to keep at least 4 runners.
Yeah, as a backup plan, I can do that.
Yeah,
yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
so,
It's the key to going fast is just knowing the optimal strategy of going through the levels. Like if you when you figure out where to be, who to shoot, who not to shoot. I mean, granted, my strategies are not perfect. Like
it's a tough game over for
things
Square.
keep changing. Yeah, because it's such a fickle. It's like a very weird thing to route around, because if you do one thing different, you might get more lag or less lag, and it's hard to tell. So, but yeah, lag reduction is really big, and then boss strategies. There are some skips. Some of them are really hard, but doing those are like integral to getting world records, but they're really hard. And final boss, you can do a skip on the final boss. I've done it once, ever, and then one other guy got it once. No, there's only been three people who've done that skip, and it's like basically if you get it, you have world record. Like yeah, but it's RNG based. And it's really stupid.
How much time does that save?
Oh, like 30 seconds, which is a lifetime for that game. Like my current run is 22:17. That was near perfect, and I almost got that skip at the end. So it would have been sub 22, but so yeah, for checking out runs, I'd recommend watching that run just to see some routes. Also, some of the other players are really good. There's on the leaderboards, you'll see them. There's Fling 84.
Yeah.
He's like, he was when he came in, he kind of just learned the game really quick and then beat me, and I got really mad. I was like, nah, I can't let him beat me. But he got really good really fast. He doesn't play anymore. And then there's some other runners there too. So, and I do have a boss strategy that I wrote in Google Docs a long time ago that I can post just to give you guys an idea. But
yeah, I mean, if you're available during the week, just to be a resource for the guys on Discord, you know, so they can ask questions and you can answer.
Yeah,
just anything to help them put on a better show and get more enjoyment out of the game.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I have the Discord set to flag me when I get messages, so I'll see them.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Maybe I can talk Poison or Square into running the game once the stress of Donkey Kong clears the system.
Oh my god, I can't run this game. I can't do this game.
I do own the cart, but I think I'm going to be pretty busy again next week, so...
Unfortunate.
I could definitely like be a backup because I have the cart, but...
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't think I'm going to be able to learn it like very well.
Yeah, luckily, the game should be pretty easy to learn. Like, to go through Deathless, that should be the first goal. Because if you die, you lose your blaster power-ups. And that's pretty big. But it's not like, you're not screwed. Like, there's backup options. But first thing, like, just try not to die through the run. That's doable. It's pretty doable. It's not too hard. Level 1 is pretty easy. Level 2 and level 3 are, by level I mean route. It's technically the route, but it's called level in the game. But the second and third routes are much harder. So the first route's a good starting point.
Yeah, I noticed that I was reading through some of the stuff that has been posted on the game, and like the levels are actually the difficulty. Like level 1 is the easy difficulty, level 2 medium, level 3 hard, and then the actual stages are called routes. And
yeah, it's really weird.
Makes you wonder who came up with all that.
It's kind of backwards, and then on the leaderboards we have it. The level 1 is the route 1.
All right.
So
we got Square One making it past Poison Pond. Went ahead and went back with the save. It's a good call. Poison got 5 lives left.
I'm trying to think what else to mention about it.
This is Minecart Madness that Square D is on right now. This is the one with the janky bees that'll kill you. Peachy was mentioning using the planks as a visual cue for when to jump.
Too late.
Yep, that's the part. That is those 3 bees right there going uphill. It's pretty rough.
Ooh. Why did I do that? It's so easy to just die.
Good job, Poison.
Victory.
And the minor pop
It's like-
off. That's,
You
all
feel
right,
like you
man.
beat the whole game, right?
Now he's on trick. I have faith he'll pull that off, and then he'll be to the save point before Poison Pond. I mean, that's got your name in it, man. You gotta own it.
Poison Pond.
Poison Pond.
Okay.
But for me, it's just it's that uphill section where you're jumping over those 3 Bs.
Yeah. Why do I jump there every time? I think it's the old minecart level where the cart jumps with you, and it doesn't.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh, this minecart level was terrible as a kid. And it's terrible as an adult. Nothing changed.
I mean, I think the game would be significantly changed if they had like accurate hitboxes for the enemies, you know. But I suppose I knew this was a Rare game, but you never really think about stuff like who develops a game whenever you're a kid. You know, you just play the game.
Yeah.
And whenever I was like, whenever I picked DK to go right after Snake, Rattle, and Roll, I didn't know that Rare had developed both of the games. Maybe had I known, I might have tried to space them out a little bit, but I try to do like an even distribution of games between both consoles. And I'm thinking about adding Game Boy for emulators.
I actually have a Game Boy player on my GameCube, so I could stream Game Boy.
Yeah, or a Super Game Boy if you have the NES, or the SNES rather. But I mean, there are a lot of games that'd be appropriate for emulator too, and I just try to do that to give the most flexibility as far as racers go, because not everybody's able to get a hold of the equipment needed to stream a retro console. I wanted to get like an Elgato capture card at one point in time. Had plans to whenever I was delusional and wanted to be an MMX runner. Needless to say, like I rage quit that game after like 3 seconds.
Actually, I was gonna ask, do you have game sound coming through from one of the streams, or no? Is it just you?
No, it's just me. It's because it would echo.
Do you think you'd want to do that, or do you rather just have there be no game sound? Just curious.
I don't know. We can try. Let's try turning on.
I think the only thing, well, because you're on Khadgar, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you might pick up the mic, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It echoes. It's like a.
Yeah.
One of us could stream like only game sound. One of us could stream like
And
only
just pick that one.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And just pick that one.
yeah, but it's not really the best solution. But
Yeah, because I think it might be better if there's like a bit of noise going on, because it's quite quiet. If there's like a bit of noise going on.
Yeah. Like I couldn't do that. I mean, again, if there's anybody in here that I was thinking about using Speedruns Live, trying to figure out that platform.
yeah, that's not too hard.
I'm open to suggestions, anything that anybody might have to make the stream better. This just seemed like the most readily available way to stream. One thing I wanted was to be able to have you guys to be able to interact with your chats as well, you know, which is why I wanted the push to talk. But still be able to have you available, just to be like, oh yeah, this is what I was doing whenever I had that death or whatever. But if it puts you guys under undue stress, then I definitely don't want that. All right. Oh, do you have to beat elevator antics before you get to candy? Oh, you do.
Yeah, I game over to elevator antics. That was my downfall. I think I game over there 3 times.
Oh man, that's rough. You got the oil drum down, man. Nice.
Oh, I can't go save now. Shit.
Clutch time. Notice we got some new people in the Discord. That's cool. Always happy to see new people in the Discord. Poison, do you have Star Fox?
Yeah.
Are you up for learning it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, sure.
Cool. CS Cash, 100 bits. Awesome.
Yo, I'll try not to
Thanks, buddy.
suck as bad.
Hey man, like dude, you're
Dude, this
doing
game's
better than I
hard.
would. Like I play all these games too. Like I don't learn them like you guys do, but I play them. I try to learn as much as I can about them just so I can speak about them. Obviously, I'm not as... I have the world record holder in just so I can, you know, get supplemental information. But, I mean, I play them, and so...
I remember your exact words. It's like, we're going to do something a little more calm and casual, like Donkey Kong kind of shit.
Well, I mean, and the thing is I played the first few worlds of it, you know, and I'm like, oh, this is not bad. It's a
I
little
remember
more
beating the
forgiving.
game as a kid, so I was like, oh, I could definitely do it now.
So, don't trust me. I mean, no, I beat the first 3 worlds with like barely a death, and I was like, oh. And so then, you know, I followed Peachy, and I was lurking him for a little bit, you know, just to see what the game entailed. And of course, he was just like destroying it. So I'm like, okay, this is not bad, right? And I was wrong.
And it's like, oh yeah, this game was made by the guys who made Battletoads and Snake Rattle and Roll, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, like, Battletoads has been suggested, but I don't think I hate any of you that much. I don't know if I could ever put you through that. That might be it.
I don't know if I can continue, man.
You tapping out?
I might. I'll try one more time.
One more time? Okay.
World 5 is such a killer. Yeah, I think World 5 is what made me want to stop playing for a, you know, like take a break the most.
Oh boy.
Man. But if we have anybody watching that wants to race, get in the Discord and declare yourself. Because it is a different game every week. You don't have to race Star Fox if you don't have it, but if you join the Discord, then you'll always be up to date on what's going on, and not only will you be able to suggest games, but you'll be able to, if you see a game that you played a lot as a kid and think you really could own, and want to pick up again, you can always volunteer to race, and I'll do my best to get you in.
Why'd I do? Jeez.
You went for the O, didn't you?
I don't know what I was thinking.
It's those kid reflexes coming in when you were playing casually.
It really is. I have taken a lot of deaths, like going for letters when I like couldn't
Yeah.
even spell it out. It's like. Why did I do it again?
Those mincers are brutal.
That jump. Oh.
I think you're gonna pull it off this time.
Why'd I do that? No!
Oh! Like, you react to the game, and then like 7 seconds later, I react to you reacting to the game.
I wonder if there's a life in here. I don't even know what's in here.
Did you forget to split on the barrel?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oops. Sometimes my like autopilot just takes over and I just run into everything. Oh, who puts it? That is so cruel.
Yeah, that mincer got me so many times.
I took the safety ditty and then lost. Alright.
I remember one of the speedrunners. I think it was Rainbow or Dad Likes Beer. One of the two said that their first run was like an hour 45, which is what you're coming up on.
Yeah, I had like 20 minutes in 4-1 and like 20 minutes in elevator antics. So I just need to like memorize each stage.
Yeah.
There's just so many stages.
Yeah, like
I
in another week, you could take like an hour off your time.
Oh, I rolled into that snake. Game's broken.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
It wasn't just me. I swear I was rolling. Oops. Well, this mist everywhere isn't really beneficial to anything. Oh.
And there has been new developments on the the first weekend in November, the Sloth race that takes place there. I have confirmed the race that was going to. Remember, I told you there was a race that was happening the 27th instead of the 28th. But we're going to move that back 1 week due to Halloween taking place. The big race is what I'm calling it. I do have the commentator scheduled. Like, we have locked that down for November 3rd. So, like, I'm super excited about that. The easiest way to find the Discord link, Skunky, that is in my if you look right below my my stream, there's a Discord panel with a link on it.
Who you got to the Funky Kong, so you can save now.
Like it's right underneath the stream rules. But if you click on it says Discord. If you click on it, it'll take you there and give you the invite.
Oh shit! How do I? Is there another Funky? Oh yeah.
The other thing that I'm thinking about doing with the stream is I'm thinking about allowing our viewers to sponsor a game. Obviously, I would be responsible for checking out the game and making sure that it's appropriate to be run and picking the category, but if they wanted to sponsor a game title, they could put in a prize reward of their own, depending on how much they want to see it run, and then I would add that total to what I was going to give for the race. So say if they matched me, then it would be $40 for the race instead of 20.
Cool.
And that'd be a way to give you guys some more prize money. But either way, it'll be at least $20 every week for me. I don't know why, but everything's better whenever you're spending money that you won instead of having to work for it. Even the food you buy with it tastes better. Poison. Oh no. He was still on top of the barrel. How did that happen?
No!
You get this sense of impending doom whenever you hear Square go, no! Because it's not on the
Yep, you get to see it. It's like, oh, I know what's coming. It's like the axe murder is behind you.
I'm gonna start making weird noises just to throw you off.
Yeah.
So you won't know what's really happening.
It would totally work, too. It would totally work.
I'm going to look into SRL this week and see how that works. Like, I've never...
Speedruns Live? It's pretty cool. I actually started speedrunning Snake Rattle and Roll back in the day, like 5 or 6 years ago, and I started on Speedruns Live.
Yeah. Well, maybe maybe you can teach me a thing or two about that. And we can polish off the format a little bit, but I mean, I like the way that the race is presented.
Oh,
like
shit.
Right now, if you look at my stream, I really like the look of it. I like the way the commentary works.
Yeah, what you've done is well, what Speedrun Live does is it's just a what's that? What's the chat function? MCI? IRC, that's right. It uses IRC to host a program that does a built-in timer, but other than that, everyone's streaming on their own Twitch. So what you've done is with the Khadgar, you've just combined Twitch views. I mean,
yep.
Speedruns Live wouldn't really add anything necessarily other than a global timer that everybody's racing against, which the viewers aren't necessarily privy to anyway, so I don't know.
I mean, if we had to remove everybody's splits and just have them, you guys can still have them on another monitor or something. But if we did that, if we wanted to accommodate more runners, then we could do that. And then I could have just like a universal timer up that I would start in my OBS scene. That's one way to do it. Or we could use SRL.
Yeah, but SRL wouldn't really add anything to the, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It wouldn't add anything to the experience for any of the viewers.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about whenever I make decisions. Viewers first, racers second. We got to put on a good show, otherwise. Because I really would like to see everybody get followers. You know, because you all guys, you deserve a lot more than you get. I know you're not streaming right now, but I mean, you know, Poisoncurls, for instance, he's amazingly talented. And you come in and you'll see like 7 people watching him, and like my immediate thought was like, how does this guy not have like 35, 40 people at least? And the same goes for Square. Like, you know, you hate to see that sort of. Well, I met you later. I used Poison as my example because I met him first. But like I walked, you know, I came into his stream one night and I was like, you know, how? And I naturally want to see like talent rewarded with a bigger platform. Skunky's showing off his bonus level strats up there.
Oh god.
It was kind of crazy to hear Peachy say that they run this without any lights and speed runs. Like, I don't see how that would happen.
I actually forego the lights in the first one in World 4, but when it comes to loopy lights in World 6, I actually do use the light barrels.
Oh, look at you! What?
Okay, that was bad. I shouldn't have laughed.
No.
I didn't even know that was
that was tough. No, okay, so yeah.
I must have gone too slow or something.
This game sucks. Damn.
Hey, this game was the bee's knees when it came out. Like, it was the best game out there.
Oh no, it's great. It's great.
I mean, like that. I didn't get it right as it came out because my family was poor, but eventually I picked it up. I think at a yard sale or something, maybe a couple of years after. So like, I remember hearing about it, and I did a lot of playing of it. I mean, you know, but as a kid, I could never beat it.
Yeah, I couldn't beat it as a kid. I was playing Ocarina of Time a lot on the 64.
That was a good game. Too long to run as far as the race goes, but still a good game.
No, the world record's only like 17 minutes, right? So we're good.
Could we pull that off, though? I mean, like, in a week?
I died to the same guy. I've run Ocarina of Time any percent. I got like 26 minutes.
It's crazy glitched and not really a showcase of what Ocarina of Time is, but it is a speedrun.
We'll take it into consideration.
I spent like probably like 10 to 15 hours just learning the wrong warp.
Yeah, the wrong warp looks just nonsense crazy.
Like one night I like got really drunk until like 6 a.m. just like all night trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I would admit that doing Ocarina of Time any percent would not be a good Sloth race.
Oh, any percent?
No. Yeah, wrong warp and everything. Like, no, that's just that's not. It's not a good option.
It's too involved. There's a lot more to.
It's like doing Mario 6 stars or 8 stars or whatever. It's like what?
Yeah, if you have to like know how to do like pretty integral glitches, which are hard in the first place, but the top players are like it's easy for them. But
So in other words, if I was on the board of directors for a Sloth race, I would veto the Ocarina of Time.
I mean, yeah, that's the reason I didn't want to do. I mean, like, it's not a good showcase of the game, and I mean, it's no guarantee that you'd be able to learn to pull off all those glitches in the first week. And the last thing I really want to do is to have like a fail fest.
I almost died to that guy again.
Like, yeah.
Oh man, you had to spoil it. I was like waiting for that pivotal moment. You spoiled it.
Well, you got to the save point. It's downhill now, buddy. I think you're about to wrap this one up.
Barrels. I don't know. I only beat this stage once in practice.
Your save time was like an hour, though. That was pretty impressive. So you've been... I think the in-game timer, it only responds to the time you spend in levels. So like...
Did you have any game overs, though?
Only like 20. Yeah. Like it, I like save and game over, and then it doesn't save all that time.
Okay, that's right.
When I did my run, 48 minutes, the timer in game I think was, I'm trying to remember, like 37 or something. I don't remember. It was something a bit lower. Oh, I remember what it was. I had a run that was 50 minutes, and the in-game time was 47 minutes.
These platforms can be a little misleading, especially the ones that go backwards.
Yeah, and there's like ways to make this section shorter, and I just don't remember where the jumps are. And that was really dumb.
Oh. Bounced off the Kremling. I can't remember that guy's specific name, like the fat one with the helmet. Ooh, good save.
Thought I was done for.
Poison making it to the end of Trick Track.
I was just gonna say, now's the moment where you can get to the safe spot.
Oh, I did the same thing again. I don't know why my brain doesn't learn.
I feel the same way.
Well, okay, that was just really dumb right there.
I decided to use Donkey for that level because he can jump on those guys.
That's actually really smart. I just keep diddying myself into the pit. Oh.
I'll be right back.
So Skunky, what was your hardest level trying to practice this?
I didn't grind the second half of the game much at all, and I think that kind of showed in my run. But
Dude,
Poison Pond gave me a lot of trouble.
I was pretty impressed with how Zat just like blazed through it. I think you lost. On guard like right at the end, but it wasn't a major issue. You lost like 2 seconds maybe.
Yeah, Poison Pond was a trouble level for me as well, so I spent a little bit of extra time trying to get it down. I've only been able to complete that level like once without losing on guard.
I mean, when you did lose him during your run, it was like literally right as you were seeing the exit sign, so that was...
I think in this run I forgot to even grab him.
Oh, that's one strat. You can't lose on guard if you don't have him.
Square with the unfortunate death.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those.
The last level. After this, it's all downhill.
And then I forgot the setup for a lot of the super jumps towards the end of the game.
I actually didn't know about any of the World 6 super jumps until I saw you practicing earlier today, so I'm like, oh crap, that's really good. I should probably learn that before the race tonight.
I was just thinking I should switch to Donkey, and then I just kind of died while thinking.
I don't think you can switch while you're on a moving platform though.
Yeah, I don't think you can, and I was trying to, and then I was like, wait, why am I not switching? But, yeah. Good times. Okay, that was just dumb.
But the levels I did grind in this game, the first 3 worlds, once I got them down, it was really fun. So I imagine if I grinded out the rest of the game, it would be a really, really fun run.
Yeah, I think that it's tricky trying in for this particular game. I mean, I might have mentioned it in Discord, but you make one mistake and it sets you back so far.
Yeah, you have to get confident in like every level. I was like, oh, I'm confident in 90%, so I can. But that doesn't really work.
Oh, Poison, the elevator just wasn't there.
Good props to you guys for keeping going. I would have lost my patience a while back.
Very tenacious.
So what is the trick to getting the blue balloon in World 1, Stage 1? I was up there with Rambi, but there was no barrel or something?
You have to do it kind of quick, but what you do is go to the very top, which is the far right, and you jump up with Rambi and then dismount, and your Kong will be on a tire, and then you bounce up real quick and you'll grab the balloon.
Oh, okay, I never jumped off of Rambi. I gotcha. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I never put 2 and 2 together where you go up with Rambi, but you don't come back down with Rambi. Oh yeah, I guess so.
What? This game doesn't make sense.
Maybe one of these days I'll learn a game and race with you. Like if you trust me not to practice it beforehand.
I think we get to pick the game in that condition.
That's true. That's another way to do it. I mean, as long as it can.
The Lion King. I want to see the Lion King.
Yeah, Poison could actually host the Sloth race, and then I race Lion King.
Oh. How the tables have turned.
Yeah, well, I mean, I put you guys through all this shit. I might as well let you laugh at me.
I don't know, Pinocchio's pretty fun. I remember playing that back in the day.
I never have even played that. I've played Lion King. I played it as a kid. I'd have to emulate it because I don't have the cart. I don't think. My mom sold all my crap in a yard sale. Like I probably had about 40 or so Super Nintendo games, and probably about the same for NES. And my freaking mom decided to have a yard sale. She was trying to raise money to buy like a freaking, I don't know, like love seat or something for the front room, so she sold all my crap in a yard sale. I hated her for many months after that. So all of the carts that I have now I've bought as an adult.
Well, I gotta go. I need to get food handled. I haven't really eaten, but it was nice to meet all you guys.
Yep.
I'll be around all week for questions and stuff for Star Fox. Hopefully we got enough people.
Yeah, if I find the cart and I'm racing, I'll definitely hit you up.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. It'd be really cool to have new eyes on the game, and it's really fun. It's easy to get into, and then you'll be surprised. It seems like an auto scroller, but it's really manipulative. So I'm excited.
All right, cool. See you later.
Take care, guys.
Good night. That's another thing that I really love about having a different game every week. You can meet people from different communities. You can get attention towards games that seem to have stalled out. You know, get more interest in them, exposure, if you will. I mean, like, and I always like it whenever runners like go back and practice another game after the race. Like Skunky ran Demon's Crest today a couple of times, and I know Square went on for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like got a better time in that one. So it's always fun.
I accept defeat.
Oh no.
Dude.
Dude, I'm pretty defeated too. This game's impossible.
He's on the
It did
last
not go
level.
this bad.
You're on the last level, Square.
Dude, the hardest last level ever. Whoa, you never do that! I meant to do that.
Watch out.
Man,
Pressure's
GG,
on.
everybody.
Yeah, GG.
Yep, good run.
Poison got that PB and Mega Man X this week.
Yeah, buddy.
We know where his focus was.
Yeah, I unfortunately played a lot of Mega Man 11. I couldn't help it.
It's the temptation.
Poison, I think you earned a couple scholarships with that college try of yours, though.
These rolly armadillo dudes, dude.
Armadillos suck in every game.
In Mega Man X, I call the armadillo Fred Durst.
Yeah, because he keeps rolling.
Either that or I'll call him Armored Arm Length Dildo.
Alright, guys, I think I'm going to go shower this salt off.
Yeah, can you leave your stream up just for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just chill for a second.
Yeah.
I want to give Square a chance to finish up if he wants to before I cut the stream.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's all good. You can cut it if you want. I'm still gonna try to finish though.
Yeah. Thanks for all your hard work this week, Poison, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, man. It'll go better next week.
That brings me to the. Do you have a PayPal set up?
I do, but I think I might have switched bank accounts since I've last used it, so I'm going to have to look into it. I'll let you know.
Alright, well, Skunky rolled over his reward from last week's race to this week's race. So the reward is 40. So just whenever you get the details to me, just let me know and I'll pay you.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll let you know.
You can put it towards getting a Star Fox cart.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Well, I mean, that's the reason I wanted to do it, because, I mean, at the outset of this, I realized that it could potentially be a pretty big expenditure to have to get another game every week if you were unable to emulate, so I wanted to try to at least mitigate the cost of that somewhat. And a weekly prize, cash prize, not only makes it more interesting, but more entertaining for the audience, and, you know, if you know you're racing for something other than just bragging rights, you know, I figured it would be fun.
I know that Square One's racing for the death of all armadillos.
I don't know what I just did. This game is a lie.
Well, it's like Snake Rattle and Roll when Rare's like, you know what? How can we make this game harder? You know, let's include ice physics with ramps and things that kill you in one hit. I think that Rare was like, you know what? How can we make Donkey Kong Country hard? Let's take away all platforms and make them move with invincible enemies on them. Yeah.
If you don't hit those beavers or the roly-polies or whatever, like, directly on top of the head, like, it like, just throws you off to one side, and it's so hard to predict, you know?
I killed the guy. Oh my god.
Watch out. Watch out. Uh-oh.
The beast is unleashed.
No! Wait, where do I go?
You go to the left after that one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a platform that goes back.
I can't see. I totally forgot.
Definitely sniped that other guy though.
I saw that. He didn't see it coming.
Hey, Implosion, thanks for the host.
The other guy's like, that Kong's gonna be here in about 20 seconds. Like, nope.
Oh, man. So if you're just joining us, we're wrapping up our weekly Sloth race here for Donkey Kong Country.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Ash has found my sound effects features.
And they're always glad you came.
But yeah, we're wrapping up our weekly Sloth race with Donkey Kong Country. Xatmamune won, as you can see by the graphic on the screen. Skunky got second, and Poison just tapped out.
Oh no!
And Square is on the last level, so we're gonna stick it out and see if he can finish. But we do a different game every single week. It's chosen at random by me, and then these guys have a week to practice to see what they can do.
Okay, what just happened?
Dude, that was weird, man. We're like glitching through the bottom of the platform or something.
I was actually watching Implosion's stream a little bit earlier today. I freaking love this guy's beard.
Whose beard?
Implosion Retro Gaming. I don't know the guy's name, but he's got a majestic beard. Like, I mean, it's like if you take all of our beards together, it would equal his beard.
Awesome.
So, like, no, go check out one of his VODs real quick. I swear, I'm not playing it up.
You got this, Square. You can
Dude,
do it.
Oh!
You got the backtrack. Oh.
Last life.
Come on.
I don't remember what to do.
Oh, baby. Oh my god.
Oh, clutch. And there it is. Alright.
Oh, man.
The boss battles right there.
Oh no, I didn't save!
Clutch. With 0 lives. Oh my goodness.
Yes, dude. Hell yeah.
The confidence.
Come on, you got
Save
it.
that shit.
Come on, you got it.
Oh, you didn't save.
No.
You got it. Got it.
No.
Come on. I think it's, what, 2
Oh, I
minutes?
didn't know the pattern.
Oh.
No way. No.
Not like
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Implosion, man. I appreciate the host again, man. I'll return the favor sometime, buddy.
Damn.
Game is brutal.
But yeah, so if you're here from Implosion's channel, next week we're going to be racing Star Fox. We got a world record holder as a commentator that's going to be in here. His name is Loki. And we're going to be running Star Fox. I think it's any percent warpless category. It's a really fun game, technically an auto-scroller.
Cool.
Well, I don't know if I even want to finish.
I believe.
I believe. I mean, like, now you know what to do, though. That's the thing. It should be...
Yeah, but the fact that I even got it was a miracle.
Now you know what to do.
Now I have to get it again.
Got it.
Huh.
Apparently, all of the Donkey Kong Country characters, they have like a certain relationship with each other. Like I think Dixie Kong is Diddy Kong's girlfriend, and various other, you know, like relationships that exist between the characters.
They all have the same last name.
Yeah, well, that's a bit incestuous, isn't it? I feel like Rare was like, we'll make the first 3 levels pretty easy, just to bait the kids into playing the game, and then just make the rest of them hard as crap.
I think as a kid, I probably played like the first 3 levels over and over, and that's like how I played the game.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly couldn't get past World 5. Like, I don't think I ever saw World 5. But I remember going through the first stage and farming lives, trying to get through like the ice stages. Those things were always pretty hard for me as a kid.
You have to throw the barrel at all the guys. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
I think in the later worlds they made the little arrows at the end with the signs with the arrows that says you're close to the end. They put them earlier and earlier to make you think you were almost there.
But I mean, if you ask me, these games right here in Snake, Rattle, and Roll, this was like peak Rare. Like this was when they were at their height. And I think I remember reading the history of this game, and this game right here was actually the game that they made that caused Nintendo to actually buy 49% of the company.
Yeah, Rare's got a really neat history story.
I mean, it's 2 brothers, right? I think it's. Oops. Yeah, pull that up.
It's definitely harder being Diddy in that situation.
Tim and Chris Stamper. So it was started by 2 guys. But yeah, after this is when Rare got big. I mean, they do have like some titles that came out that were kind of just cash grabs, like WrestleMania, I think they did, and that one was crap. I've never found a wrestling game that I ever genuinely enjoyed.
Dude, WCW versus NWO, I think, for Nintendo 64. That shit was good, man.
Is that the one where you could create your own characters? Like it was one of the first ones.
I think so, yeah.
Is there another guy after this? Oh my god.
There we go. Hey, how about you save this time?
Yeah. Thanks for the tip.
No problem, bro.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Whoops. I didn't really learn how to actually do this.
I think the bird battles are the only battle in the game that has any RNG whatsoever.
Ah, fuck. It's cool, I gotta save.
Ah, that's tough.
Huh? I hit him. I'm so bad.
I think we've hit a viewer PB like each of the last 2 weeks. Because last week I think we hit 12 viewers, and then tonight I think we had like 18 or 19. So, chat was definitely moving faster than I could keep up with.
Can I go save? I think I can beat the last boss. I don't remember. I haven't played him since like Tuesday.
I mean, it's mostly just dodging his jumps and the cannonballs, really, and he does play possum a little bit, so you have to beat him in both phases. But I mean, he's pretty straightforward. But yeah, you always hit him after he throws his crown. Then there are those cannonballs that drop on you.
Oh, that was bad timing. That was really easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... You can almost stand still because of the hitboxes of the cannons, so you don't have to move that much.
That sounds like Star Fox.
It is. He's chilling. That's a little preview for next week, guys. Hey, Poison, can you turn down your TV just a little bit?
Yep.
Thanks.
Alright, then the fake credits.
Yeah. He plays possum.
K-Reddits.
He plays Chipmunk.
The end? Question mark.
I can imagine if you were a kid and you were good enough to beat this game, dude. Oh, how trolly that would be when he comes back to life.
Oh, right. He does a mid jump.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't stand middle distance away from him.
I think he does high jumps too, right?
I don't know, but I died.
Doesn't he do high jumps?
His first phase after the credits that are not really the credits is he jumps far, and then after he gets 1 damage on him, he jumps far then medium, and then after the last hit, he jumps far then medium, then he does little short hops.
Right, okay. I've never played this guy before, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I beat him once with save states, and I was like, oh, this is easy. And I did the same thing.
Star Fox was also like my least favorite character on Super Smash Brothers, because I always played it as Samus in that game.
Dude, and, Fox is a beast.
Dude, like, he has that reflector shield that brings Samus's own weapon back. It's ridiculously OP. So, like, it's almost like they designed Fox just to be able to destroy Samus and no one else. That's at least in the original Super Smash Brothers.
I still have the save data of my original N64 Smash, and my sister and I would play 2 Yoshis against 2 AI Foxes, and we'd set them to skill level 1, and we'd put home run bats on very high, and we would just home run the Foxes for hours on end.
Dang. Sounds like fun.
It was a blast.
Dude, that, like, I seriously, if there was a way to have, like, a Super Smash Brothers tournament, then I would have one. Like, if there was a way to get, like, all 4 of us or you know, whatever playing, then I would totally sponsor that. I don't know if is there a way to play 64 games that are, like, versus?
Yeah, they do have ways of emulating and doing online play, net play. But I know someone who does it, but I've never done it myself.
I'd have to look into that because that would be very fun, dude. Like,
Yeah, I could ask the guy I know who plays, and he could tell me how it works.
like,
I know people do Mario Party.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I've seen that before, but I didn't know, like, you know, how they were doing it, and I lurk a lot sometimes, so I don't always know the people, and I don't talk to people that I don't know that much. But I did like to lurk, so I have seen Mario Party. I would like to see, dude, I would totally enter a Super Smash Brothers tournament if we put one on.
Yeah, actually, the guy I know, he does do Super Smash Brothers tournaments online.
Yeah, so yeah, drop him a line if you can get him in the Discord or something, just to kind of advise on the process. Because, you know, maybe we could take a break off, like a week off or something from like a Sloth race, and just do like a tournament or something.
Smash 64 is actually a game that I speedrun.
Oh.
You need to stream more, my friend. I would watch that.
Do a barrel roll.
And that is a meme.
Oh, what am I doing? It does another... Okay, I guess I should have practiced this.
Nobody likes Slippy the Frog in Star Fox. Like, it's like universally, it's like the Jar Jar Binks of the Star Fox world.
Slippy should have been a Smash character.
Ugh. I know they made Falco one.
Yeah.
Eventually, in some expansion.
And Melee.
Yeah. Isn't that for GameCube?
Yeah.
But
that was my favorite Smash.
if you guys are cool with doing Game Boy games, like if you have like a Super Game Boy or something for SNES, we could run Game Boy games, and I could start considering those, because there's a wealth of games for Game Boy.
Yeah, Mario Land would be fun.
Yeah. I remember going on road trips or whatever and just like packing batteries for the original Game Boy, and that was before they were backlit too. So like I'd have like a little book light or whatever, and clip it to my my seat belt, and then like it had like a little bendy arm on it or whatever, and like that's how I would see the game screen whenever we were on long road trips in the family car. Star Fox is such a good game, though. Gosh, it looks great.
No matter your... What does that mean? What Riot Coder just said.
Huh?
Whoops. Whoops. How do I dodge that?
Yeah, Riot Coder is a wannabe troll. Like, in my channel it has no politics, so he constantly brings up politics thinking that he's trolling me. So you get timed out.
Man, you're the one bringing up politics in my channel all the time.
But your rules don't specifically forbid it.
Well...
That, and I will discuss them, but at the same... I mean, if you don't want me to, I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah, no debating, though.
Yeah. But no, like, he specifically says, like, trolly shit, try to get people arguing, you know what I mean?
Maple Leaf.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and here's the thing: is I'm a notorious troll. I'll troll anybody. Like Square One falling asleep, that's not going away anytime soon. You know, but like I don't mean anything by it. I mean, you know, crap, my sleep schedule's screwed up as hell. You know, and I certainly don't mean to hurt anybody's stream. Like my only goal for you guys' stream is to make it better. You know, to try and push viewers to you. But you know, Riot's just a troll. He doesn't want to do anything except for get attention for himself.
Oh, I always forget what he's gonna do next. I can't learn.
Jump. But you don't want to tap out now.
I know, right? I'm on the last spot, but I don't feel like... I don't know.
So
Why'd they make this difficult? Oh, I can't even beat the first phase. Fried brain.
It is getting kind of late. I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule for a while. I hope we at least get 3 runners for Star Fox. Because if not, I'll have to cancel the game and then we'll just have a week without a race. Which would suck. I might do like if we have to cancel it or whatever, then I might change the game and pick something that's really short and easy to learn. So hopefully Zad will be able to find a cart and Peachy ends up confirming tomorrow.
Why is that so hard?
You barely have to move at all for those cannonballs. Like barely.
Yeah, they make me panic.
Yeah. And that's what this game does. It like baits you into overreacting on a lot of different enemies and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like that freaking Chomper thing, I can't remember what it was at the end of the last level that jumps up. Like, I feel like they specifically put that thing there to end you, like right as you're celebrating the victory.
Oh. Whoa.
I think you got it this time.
Holy shit. Damn, I died. This game's pretty cool. Is it like an all levels thing, or is it? Is there like an any percent?
Any percent warpless.
Okay.
So yeah, you can watch Loki. Loki's going to be in chat all week on Discord, so you know he's pretty much there for any questions that you have.
Okay, cool. Cool.
That's why I try to book like a world record holder to be like, or at least somebody that's an authority on the game, you know, to be able to make sure you guys have whatever you need to practice. Because some of the games aren't straightforward and their communities aren't you know, don't have like guides published on the internet or something like that. You know, like Donkey Kong Country, Snowman had that video about the speed run for beginners. So
Right.
I actually I was googling the game and I found the game, and I was like, well, this might be a little bit difficult to learn once I watch the run. But then I found Snowman's video and I was like, okay, it can be done.
You did say though that Star Fox can't be done on an emulator because they're not the same type.
No, it cannot be emulated, unfortunately.
Oh, it can't?
Cannot be emulated.
Oh, well, then I can't play it.
Oh, that's the reason I asked you if you had Star Fox the kart.
Oh, no, I don't. So, that's cool.
You have a Super Nintendo to run on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can try to find the cart, see if it's for sale at a local retro shop or something, because it's not that expensive.
Yeah, I might do that. But for now, just count me out.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be like a backup if I get the cart.
Yeah, that's what Square said.
Okay, cool. Let's do that.
So we've got 4 maybes. Or rather, 2 maybes and 2 backups. This is the first time I've had to go into a new week not knowing if I'd even have 4 runners, like before the practice even starts. I think 3 will be my threshold, because Low-Key can do one of his, like, you know, optimized runs and demonstrate that. The gameplay, like, okay, so if Poison was just playing on emulator, that looks pretty good.
Oof. He said it was faster, I think.
Yeah, he said it was like playing a different game, but honestly, I thought Poison was playing the cart there. Yeah, Cash. Square One's determined to beat the game, so I'm hanging in there with him. There's no way I would bail out on a runner if they were determined to finish the game ever. So.
Well, the race is over, so you can. Oh crap! So I don't mind if you cut stream.
Oh no, man! I'll stick with you. I mean, it's part of the. It's part of the rules that you should try to finish the game, you know, if at all possible, and that is exactly what you're doing. So it's not like I'm gonna. That'd be a dick move if I were to cut you off now.
But it'd also be a dick move to make you watch me for 3 hours.
I think you got it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Have a little faith, man.
Yeah, I haven't been chilling here for nothing. You got this, man.
Oh, man. I don't know how to do these cannonballs.
I never leave a man behind.
Thanks, guys. Why do I can't even do the first phase. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh wait, that's a game over. Damn it, dude. That's not Funky's Flights.
Alright.
You were distracted by her eyes, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I think we might have a first for my channel, because I don't think I've ever had to permanently ban anybody, but I think Riot Coder's about to get that treatment.
Oh, I looked over and tried to start reading what he said.
Oh, his message is deleted now. Like, I mean, I've never had like anybody fucking like push me that far.
Yeah, Riot's asshole.
I mean, fucking A. Riot, you're about to get banned from a bunch of different fucking chats because I'm a mod in everybody's chat. So you better fucking apologize if you know what's good for you. Either that or you can go bother somebody else.
Dude, you got this square.
Dude, I'll never let go. I'll never let go.
I remember this being easy when I was younger.
I remember a whole bunch of games being easier when I was younger, dude. Like Super Mario World. Like, I used to get 96 exits on that game like it was nothing. You know, even like Soda Lake. I don't know if you remember that level. That level was like I would own it, but like I can't beat it now to save my life. So I guess you just have like, you know, quicker reflexes as a kid. I don't know. I don't know, Cash. He's just a fucking troll. I bet he seems to me like he's some sort of fucking high school kid. You know the girl in high school that like wants to flirt with all the dudes but doesn't know how, so she just walks up and punches them? That's what Riot Coder strikes me as, you know? Like, and even though they have the potential to be a cool person, they want attention too much, and it leads them into doing stupid shit. That's what Riot Coder is, like the girl that just goes.
You got this, Square. Come on.
I don't remember where to stand after the credits.
Immediately, you get like one Kong's length in front of him.
Alright.
Yeah. CS Cash is one of Foxore's viewers, one of his earliest viewers, and he's become one of mine, so appreciate those bits, buddy. And I appreciate you hanging around.
Oh! The easiest part is hard. Oh, right. One Kong's length away. Dude, my brain. Okay, this time, there's no way I can't get it this time.
Hey, you didn't play through Platform Perils twice to fail now.
Except I walked into him right at the start.
Oh, dude, man.
And you noticed that Fox came back and started streaming again. Fox had a bad stream the other day. He was dropping frames and stuff and kind of rage quit. Said he was going to quit streaming for good. But that didn't last, thankfully. I like Fox's streams. He's fun to watch. The other thing I've learned about Foxhole is he's freaking god tier at like battle royale games, first-person shooters. He is freaking good. He got like 8 kills in his second game on Ring of Elysium. Maybe Fox can carry me to some victories in that game. I'm so derpy.
What? All right. Why did I think he was going to throw a crown? Guys, save me.
So Sloth, what game consoles do you actually own right now?
None of them. I emulate pretty much everything. And I was pretty upset. I mean, like, I own one of those, you know what they're called?
Retron?
Yes, that's what they're called. So I don't own any of the actual ones. I do own an N64. But yeah, no, I own one of those. Here, let me go over here and look at it.
Probably like a Retron 3 or something?
on cam with it right now. FC3 Plus, but it plays Sega and Super and, you know, yeah. It's a Yobo, whatever it is. But yeah, it plays NES, Genesis, and Super Nintendo. And it works pretty good, man. I bought Mario Paint a while back for it, and got the mouse, and then I realized you couldn't have an actual Super Nintendo controller in it. The controls are a little bit off. I owned a Super Nintendo that just died. And I owned a regular Nintendo that I couldn't get, like, I guess it was so dirty that, like, it wouldn't play any games. Like, it would just, you know, you insert the cart even when you blow in the cart and it just keeps flashing. So I gotta rebuy those, but the Yobo or whatever it's called works really well. But it's not like a true experience because you're playing with a gamepad that has like 6 buttons, you know?
Yeah. The original hardware is part of the experience that can't be replicated. You can't replace that experience.
And I wanted to buy...
you got this, Square.
But I also have limited like space in my TV rack, you know? I'm the kind of guy that likes to have all the wires managed. Like if I ever send you a picture of my setup, my streaming setup, like you can't see any wires because everything's zipped
I
out.
think this is it.
God, that was so easy. Why did that take me so many tries?
GG. GG, dude.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Oh man.
Wait,
So-
split.
It's done.
GG Square.
Thanks, guys.
You should
Sub
try
3.
Cash, that's what I was using before earlier yesterday. I was using the snowboard pack. I actually like it a little bit more than the climbing pack, so that's probably what I'll be using from now on.
Is this your first time actually beating the game, Square?
In like 20 years, yeah.
Same, pretty much for me too.
GG,
I
guys.
still have never beaten the game in my life.
There's still time. Boot it back up.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
Well, I mean, you can always do like a redemption stream, Poison, and then
Right,
you can,
right.
You know,
I'll have Snake Rattle and Roll and
yeah.
Donkey Kong.
We were talking about that like a combined race, multi-game, old Sloth game race.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Put them all together in a marathon.
True. I mean, like, and I was thinking of doing like reruns too. You know, like doing the same game again, but with the same 4 runners that ran it the last time, and just like, you know, since they're already familiar with the game, see how much they've improved since then. Thought about doing that.
That's a good idea.
But at one point, I really do want to do a marathon to raise money for anxietygaming.com. So I think maybe we can get all of us together, and maybe we can do the games that we're good at, and we each do a block of the marathon, and just sort of like hand off to each other. Like Poison could do Lion King or Daydream Davy, or you know, pretty much whatever you want, and then you would just have like a 2-hour block where you stream. Same thing for Square and Skunky, Xatmamune. Then I would take a block, and like maybe I would make some perlers, because I can make perlers, but maybe we could like collaborate, use all of our talents, and try to raise some money, because they really are a pretty awesome charity. Like, I believe in it.
What is their cause?
Essentially, it's anxietygaming.com. The cause is for like you know, sometimes people retreat into gaming because they have like anxiety and have trouble dealing, you know, with life, maybe suffer from depression. So it's sort of like an outreach program, you know, gamer to gamer, trying to fight depression and anxiety.
I'd definitely be in.
I mean, it's, yeah, dude, like I've had depression most of my life, you know, and streaming and the Twitch community has really helped me out a lot in that regard.
Absolutely.
So, and I feel like everybody that is in Twitch would understand what that means, because we're all kind of we're all kind of misfits, you know, in our own little way. And so being able to reach out to other gamers and help them with what they're going through is pretty important to me. So I'd really like to do that one of these days. Like, I'd like to, we keep putting up these races and gathering an audience, you know, then one day we'll be able to put up a marathon and really get them a chunk of change. But I think this is a pretty good place to end it. Good job on the finish square, man.
Thank you.
Props
Thank
for
you
not
guys
quitting.
for
Keeping up the hustle. That was impressive.
thank you
Poison,
guys
good
for sticking
try.
with me.
Hell yeah.
Poison's going to be better from now on because he got his PB in Mega Man this week.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
Thanks, Sloth.
hey, good try, Skunky. You can't win them all, dude, but you're freaking god tier. Zat, congrats on your win, man. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see about finding a card of Star Fox.
Yeah.
If not, I think I might have a friend who has one. I might be able to borrow his.
Sure. I mean, and just try to let me know as soon as possible if you can get a hand on one.
I should be able to let you know tomorrow.
I've got some bits saved up if Poisoncurls has trouble getting the cart. Like maybe you'll just get a big cheer in your channel or something like that to reimburse you for the cart if you need it. But like, I'd like to see you run this game, Poison. You've been in like every one except for the one directly after the hurricane that hit. So
yeah.
you're like the cornerstone of the race, man.
Cool.
But I'm gonna go ahead and cut stream here, guys. Thanks for everything, and I'll see you next week.